You're listening to Shreveport Mudbugs Hockey on NATV and the Mudbugs Audio Network. Tonight's game broadcast will begin in a moment. You're listening to Shreveport Mudbugs Hockey on NATV and the Mudbugs Audio Network. Tonight's game broadcast will begin in a moment.
Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Live from the Ector County Coliseum, it's Shreveport Mudbugs Hockey as your Bugs take on the Odessa Jackalopes in game number one of this two-game series. Once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Duncan Welker. I'll be filling in for Chet Yoder this weekend. Once again, big thank you to Chet Yoder for allowing me to step up into this position and allowing me to take over in his shoes, at least for the weekend being. He'll be back with us next time we come to you live from George's Pond inside Hirsch Coliseum in 2 weeks' time. Mudbugs have next week off, but that is then, and tonight is tonight. Like I said, the Bugs are taking on the Jackalopes, and as you'll hear later on in some of the intermission interviews, both teams are looking to find their standing in terms of where they lay kind of in the South Division here. Mudbugs come into tonight 5-7-1-2. That's 5 wins, 7 losses, one overtime loss, and 2 shootout losses on the year so far. And of course, the Jackalopes, they are coming in tonight 5 wins, 3 losses, 3 overtime losses, and 1 shootout loss so far. Speaking of their record and their last time out for that matter, of course, the Mudbugs had a tough and tight series against the Corpus Christi Ice Rays, both ending in 2-1 final scores in favor of the Ice Rays. Of course, that first game was a regulation loss, and the second game, Mudbugs were able to gain a point in that shootout loss to the Ice Rays. So some positives and mixed with some negatives. Of course, you're listening to the Landers, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Fiat pregame show. You'll hear my conversation with Mudbugs assistant coach Brett Smith coming up here in just a matter of minutes. Talk to him about a variety of topics, including one of his favorite memories against this Odessa Jackalopes team. Not this Odessa Jackalopes team, of course, the program as a whole, team as a whole, I guess I should say. But we move on here. Let's look at some numbers before we get to that. Mudbugs, of course, their stats are as followed. Carter McKay leads the team in goals with 7. And he also leads the team in total points with 13 points on the year. And in that goal category, Evan Hoagland and Jonathan Burnt follow right behind him. Hoagland with 4, Burnt with 3 goals respectively. And in that point category, they also follow behind him. Hoagland with 9 points and Burnt with 8. And, of course, in terms of save percentage and wins for goalies on the year, Tyler Hodges with 4 wins on the year. He also leads the team in save percentage. And now let's move on to this Odessa Jackalopes team. As I mentioned, they come into tonight's contest 5-3, 3-1, of course. And in their goal category, that would be Jack L'Esperance leading the goals and the points. Jeremy Jacobs leads in assists, and L'Esperance, ironically, is right behind him in assists. And in terms of goals for the Jackalopes, Nicholas Percelli, is right behind him, and Jeremy Jacobs right behind Nicholas Percelli. Jacobs and Percelli are right behind L'Esperance in terms of total points. Let's take a look at the South Division standings real quick. Lone Star, of course, is in first place with 25 points. The Ice Wolves of New Mexico are in second with 18 total points on the year. The Warriors of Oklahoma, they sit in third place of the South Division with 16 points on the year. Several teams actually are tied for some points leading there. I apologize. Some technical difficulties on my end. And now we're back. Apologize. The Rhinos of El Paso also sit at 16. They're tied for third, but in terms of technical standings, fourth place. The Wranglers, they sit in fifth with 15. The Jackalopes sit in sixth, and the Mudbugs sit in seventh, and the Ice Race sit in eighth with 12. Mudbugs, of course, with 13 points so far coming into tonight's contest. So, when we come back, my conversation with Brett Smith, Mudbugs assistant coach, we'll be back. You're listening to the Landers Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram and Fiat pregame show, and you're listening to Shreveport Mudbugs hockey here on NATV and the Mudbugs Audio Network.
Hey, this is Chet Yoder, voice of the Mudbugs. DeFada and Associates Investigative and Risk Analysis Services has been conducting professional private investigations for over 20 years. They offer a full range of services to both individuals and businesses. Whether you need an investigator for a personal matter like a child custody case or you suspect an internal theft problem with your business, DeFada and Associates has the experience, training, and knowledge to get you the information you need. Call Jerry today at 318-635-9944 to talk about your case or visit them online at defadapi.com.
For those that have fallen, I say get up. For those that are asleep, I say wake up. For those that are seated, I say rise. It is time. The world needs what we possess. The only hope for a dark world is the light of Jesus Christ. Let your light so shine.
Thank you for tuning in to this Word of God Ministries message.
Welcome back to the Landers Dodge Chrysler Ram Jeep and Fiat pregame show. Sitting here with one of our favorites and always longtime guest, Mudbugs assistant coach Brett Smith. Smitty, welcome in.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So, Smitty, this weekend we face Odessa. They, just like us, are trying to find their footing in terms of the South Division. Of course, they come off a 3-game stretch of games against the Amarillo Wranglers. They dropped 2, and they were able to win their first one, but like I said, them, like us, they're trying to find their footing. So this week coming in, what is the word of advice going around the locker room for these Jackalopes?
Well, you know, for us, kind of what I know about them and what I've seen is they're a good puck-moving, skating team. And that's about where I'm going to leave that, because really what it comes down to is what the Mudbugs can bring to the table. And if we can control the controllables, and that's our work ethic and playing the game that we like, I think we should be able to step in here and come out with 2 points.
Of course. So moving along here, like I said, we're trying to find our footing in terms of the South Division. Still early here yet. Of course, last week we had a 2-game heartbreak in both games, both that regulation loss Friday night and then Saturday night was a shootout loss to the Corpus Christi Ice Race. But new day, new week, new game. What were a couple of positives that we took away from that Corpus series that we're going to look to apply to this weekend against here in Odessa?
I think we grew over that weekend. I mean, we had a much better effort on Saturday night. Not saying the effort was awful on Friday, but we definitely battled hard. We found a way to get a point. Obviously, that's not the end result that we wanted, but we just need to find a way to get it done.
Absolutely.
You know, you get if you're a goal scorer, score some goals. If you're a defensive guy, block some shots, win some face-offs. There comes a time where you just need to get the job done. Focus on what your role is within the team and do that to the best of your ability. And I know with the guys that we have here and how they can do their job, we can turn this thing around and get a big win.
Absolutely. So, speaking of knowing your roles and kind of where everything is, physicality, that's the big word of, rather the big word, but also the big theme of course, this division, as you've come to find out, kind of reminds of the old CHL days in terms of physicality. What do you think the physical play is looking like in terms of this team coming into this weekend?
For our team, it's been a little different from night to night, and we need to find the consistency of that. Odessa definitely has some physicality. They play tough, they play hard, they play fast. So we're going to need to match that energy, but overcome that energy and bring that energy ourselves, because we do have a big, fast, grinding type team when we get the puck deep and go to work. And if we can be successful with that physicality and create some space for ourselves, I know we can find a little bit of room, score some goals.
Absolutely. So, Smitty, it's been a minute since you've been here in Odessa, of course. Last time you came here was, I believe, 2010, 2011. Is that correct?
That would be correct.
So do you have one, moment, or memory really that really sticks out about this place?
I don't think I got a whole lot of memories of playing in this arena, truthfully. I remember a big night in Shreveport that I had against Odessa and racked up a few goals and assists with my parents in the crowd. I think that's the only reason I remembered. It's because I had a 4-goal game and finally topped what my dad did in his junior career. So I would say that's my memory of playing against Odessa.
Playing against Odessa, yeah. I would say this, for what it's worth, I do like this barn. It is very nice. It's very old school. I'll put it like that. So finally, coming into this weekend, who are some players to look out for from not only us perspective, or from rather our perspective, but also to look out for Odessa? 3 players for us, 3 players for them, let's just say.
You know what? I'm not even going to focus on them, because this moving forward for me and what I've been preaching to our boys is all about us. And I'm not even going to focus on 3 players and answer your question, Dunk. So you might hate me on that one, but
No,
I'm
okay.
This is for us
It's
to be
okay.
successful, for us to find some wins. It's going to be a team effort,
Absolutely.
starting from Soupy, myself, our goaltending, and all the way out. And if we can find a way to come together as a team, everybody do their job, play our game, we can be successful.
Absolutely. So the theme seems to be us first, Mudbugs first, and that's honestly the theme that it needs to be. A lot of people I've heard say over the interwebs, but also here in the locker room, of course. And of course, you've been preaching it not only on the bench, but also in the locker room and in meetings, things like that. All right, so I'm going to ask you one final thing. I'm going to let you get going. It is Halloween weekend. Of course, tonight is Halloween, All Hallows Eve. And I asked some of the guys this in my intermission interview later on here, but do you have a favorite Halloween candy? It's a 2-parter question. And a favorite Halloween memory growing up?
I would say my candy would be anything sour. Love candy.
Anything sour.
Yeah,
okay.
Anything sour. I do love that. And I would think a memory of Halloween. I had a costume when I was a kid, and I was dressed up like the Joker in a purple suit, purple hat, complete face painted. I remember that one pretty vividly.
Right. And you know what's funny? You bring up costumes. I don't know if you'll remember this, but it might have been, I think, 09 or 10. Might have been a Halloween party. It might not even be you. I might be getting players mixed up. But we were at a Halloween party at a player's house or something. Might have been yours, actually, now that I think about it. And I believe you dressed up as, I think, Bert, if I remember correctly, one year.
Oh, probably. I had many different costumes over many different years, and now I just wear the costume of being an old grumpy coach behind the bench. So hopefully I can walk away happy after the game tonight.
Nothing wrong with that. All right, well, Smitty, thank you for joining us. And, of course, we're looking forward to big weekend this weekend here in Odessa. And we'll be back with more in the Landers, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Fiat pregame show. You're listening to Shreveport Mudbugs hockey here on NATV and the Mudbugs Audio Network. Beautiful rendition of the national anthem. Beautiful version, I should say. Apologies for the interview going long, but that doesn't matter right now. It's now time for your Mudbugs Whataburger starting lineup, brought to you by our friends at Whataburger, just like you like it. First for the Odessa Jackalopes, number 10, Caden Gahasi at the left wing. At center, number 15, Jeremy Jacobs. At the right wing, number 21, Nicholas Arrington. At the left defense, number 3, Shea Berry. And at the right defense, number 24, Hunter Toms. And in goal for Odessa tonight, number 31, Kevin Jones. Now it's time for the Whataburger starting lineups for your Shreveport Mudbugs. At left wing, number 12 from Manhattan Beach, California, Duke Earhart. And center, number 15 from Woodlands, Texas, Jonah Chasser. At the right wing, number 36 from Havertown, Pennsylvania, number 36, Joe Sumingo. At the left defense from Vandalia, Ohio, number 2, Mitchell Reed. And at the right defense, number 3 from Clarkston, Michigan, number 3, Evan Adams. And in between the pipes tonight for your Mudbugs is number 31 from Gormley, from Gormley, Ontario, Tyler Hodges. Mudbugs are, of course, led by head coach Jason Campbell, assistant coach Brett Smith. Our Willis Knight athletic trainer is Hunter Robinson, and of course, your head equipment manager is Billy T. Welker. The Jackalopes are led by head coach Scott Durr and assistant coach Marquise Cotton. Puck drop coming underway, or about to be underway here in Odessa. Looks like, and apologies. Quick uniform description. Mudbugs in their black and red jersey, striping going down the left, right, and middle, and Odessa in their white with the logo. Puck drop is underway, and the Mudbugs win it back. Reed now on the left-hand side. That would be the right broadcast-wise. And it'll be dumped into the corner. Some finds it, but it's turned over by the Bug. Reed McKay gets bodied. So Krisky gets thrown on the boards, but still standing. Now McKay finds it, shoots it, but it gets blocked in front. It'll be Mitchell Reed. Mitchell Reed, it gets blocked in front by a Jackalope and a Mudbug. Shot, oh, it's wide, no. Stoppage of play here. Stoppage of play here. That would be number 24, Hunter Toms. He went down, but was able to get back up safely. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize if there were some technical issues, rather for the technical issues involving the Mudbugs audio network feed on YouTube broadcast on NATV. Everything should have been clear, and to those listening wherever you may be, we should have the issues fixed, backed up, and running. So, with that in mind, the face-off will come out to the right of Kevin Jones. Jasser will take the face-off here. That'll be against Thornton. Mudbugs win it cleanly. Adams gets a shot. It sticks saved away by Jones. Odessa now able to come away with it. Mudbugs able to regain it back. Jasser now, he's on the right hand. He's back in, and it's wide. Semango able to gain control of it. He finds Jasser behind the Odessa net. And of course, he leaves it off for Duke Earhart. Jasser now battling with the Odessa, with the Jackalopes, and they try to get it out of the Mudbug zone, and they will. And it looks like it'll go down for icing. Will it go down for icing? Yes, it will. Goes for a icing on the Jackalopes. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for the litany of technical issues, both on the NATV feed and the Mudbugs audio network on YouTube feed. Should have everything up and running. The internet decided to just go down here, but we move on, and everything should be fixed. If it's not, please let me know. Please let me know. Now, face-off come out to the left. Vinny Dulio able to win it. Griner. It's blocked away by Kevin Jones. Mudbugs able to regain Geffhart, and it's puck will go down for no. Icing gets waved off. Pusateri now. He's fighting Lopez Corsi. Pusateri, he gets bodied, but not before he gets the puck away. Griner now. Here he comes with it through the zone. He finds Gabe Lopez Corsi. He bounces it back to Griner behind the Jackalopes net. Mudbugs and Jackalopes are in a battle for the boards on the puck. Jackalopes able to come away with it. Percelli now. He finds his man, and it's saved by Tyler Hodges. Case now trying to find it, and he sends it. It's able to be collected by Remy Pusateri. Jackalopes and Mudbugs battling for the puck here. Now in Case able to come away with it clean. He sends it for Lopez Corsi. Lopez Corsi now gonna leave it for Remy Pusateri. He sends it back to Owen Case. Case looking for Jake Stock. Here comes Jake Stock, and it's gloved up by Kevin Jones. 4:47 left here in the first. Mudbugs 1, Jackalopes nothing off a goal from Duke Earhart, assisted by Joe Semango earlier on in the period. It was a nice goal from Duke Earhart there. Mudbugs hockey tonight brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports. Buffalo Wild Wings. Jackalopes able to win the faceoff now. It'll come out for Arrington on the right-hand side. That's the left-hand side, excuse me. Arrington now they're in a battle with the Mudbugs. Now would have been Johnny Brent, Liam Wolf-Talby. Jackalopes able to come up with it behind their own net. That'll be Shea Berry. And that puck will, no, it got tipped. I apologize, it did not go down for icing. Ty Easton hustles them into the boards. That would have been number 15, Jeremy Jacobs. Jacobs now. He's getting, excuse me, that was Gihasi. A lot of apologies being thrown around here, folks, but we move on. Wolf-Talby, oh, he tries to find Porichka, and it gets lost in his skates. Now here come the Jackalopes. Arrington, leave it for Gihasi. It's saved by Tyler Hodges. Coming up here in a little bit, the North Caddo Express Loop First Intermission Show. The North Caddo Express Loop Intermission Show is powered to you by The North Caddo Express Lube in Vivian, offering oil changes, inspection stickers, transmission services, and vehicle batteries and key fob batteries. Mention the discount code MUDBUGS25 and get 10% off your service. Once again, that's MUDBUGS25. Call them at 318-375-5823 for more information. Mudbugs able to win the faceoff now. Here comes Mitchell Reed. He sends it back to his partner, Evan Adams. Adams was trying to find, I believe, Reed, but Jackalopes able to take it away. Hoagland comes up with it. He leaves it off for Reed. Reed now, he sends it back to Hoagland. It's going to go down. No, it's not. Jones comes out to plays it. He sends it back to his own man. Here comes Odessa. They have numbers. Over to Catalano. That's Brandon Catalano. Mudbugs able to come back up away with it. Sakrisky now, and delayed offsides on the Jackalopes, but they were able to get in and out quick. Now Catalano on Reed. Evan Adams able to come away with it. He's pressed along by Catalano. Mudbugs able to get it away. Yes, they are. That'll be Evan Hoagland. Hoagland's pass gets tipped and blocked in front. Jackalopes now. McPherson. It gets pad saved away and up into the glass, but not out of play by Tyler Hodges. Mudbugs looking for it, and it just goes out of the zone. Duke Earhart now battling and able to get it in possession for the Mudbugs, and it's back to Evan Adams. Evan Adams back to Reed. Earhart's able to tip it, and it goes down. Jones comes out to play it for Arrington now. Arrington, and they leave it. Able to leave it. There. Kukskowski now. That's number 13. That's Daniel Kukskowski. They turn it over. Here come the Mudbugs. Duke Earhart leaves it for Joe Samango. Samango to Geffhard. It just hits the glass. Kukskowski now able to dump it all the way down the ice. That'll be an icing on the Jackalopes. 2:10 left here in the first period. Mudbugs lead 1-0. If you're just joining us or just rejoining us here in Odessa, Texas at the Ector County Coliseum, the Mudbugs took a 1-0 lead early on with 15 minutes left in the first period on a goal from Duke Earhart, and assisted by Joseph Samango. Good stuff there. Face-off will come out to the left of Kevin Jones now. Mudbugs able to tie it up and win it. Lopez Corsi, his shot gets blocked. Varying shots get blocked. And he gets sent up to Owen Case now. Case on the left side. Case was trying to find DeUlio in front, couldn't find it. Johnny Burnt, he sends it up front, trying to find, it looks like Joe Samango. No, that is Vinny DeUlio. Apologies, and it gets shot wide into the left corner. Owen Case. And Case can't quite find. Pass got blocked on the way through. He tried to find Vinny DeUlio. Jackalopes were able to block that there. Jackalopes just get it out of the bug zone. Now, Jared Griner over to Owen Case. Owen Case, he puts the puck on net, and it's sticked away by Kevin Jones. Mudbugs and Jackalopes battling. Owen Case now. Jackalopes able to come away with it. Vinny DeUlio trying to get in battle for it. He's able to get it, and Burnt comes up with it. He just trickles it in to the Jackalopes zone, and it'll be left for number 3, Shea Berry. Berry behind his own net. That'll be for number 24, Hunter Toms. Toms, he sends it down the length of the ice. That'll be an icing. That'll be an icing on the Jackalopes. Mudbugs Hockey tonight is brought to you by our friends at Porter's, delivering the difference for Mudbugs Hockey, locally owned and operated for over 50 years, providing floor mats, uniforms, and facility service for your company. Porter's. Speaking of Porter's, they did a great job with the floor mats in the Mudbugs locker room. Shout out to Elaine Savage, former Mudbug, now at Porter's. Faceoff comes out to the right of Jones. 1 minute remaining left here in the first period. Mudbugs up 1-0. Jackalopes able to take it, but can't quite clear the zone. Stock, he finds Wolf Talby down behind the Jackalopes net. Wolf Talby gets thrown to the corner, and Jackalopes come away with it. Stock trying to poke it out. Odessa shot. It gets saved by Tyler Hodges, and it squeaks out loose. Mudbugs trying to find it, and Wolf Talby's able to come up with it. It gets loose in front, and Tyler Hodges comes up with it. 25-17 left here in the first. Coming up next after these messages is the North Caddo Express Lube first intermission report, as well as the Shreveport Regional Airport First Intermission scoreboard update. Of course, the North Caddo Express Lube First Intermission show is brought to you by our friends at the North Caddo Express Lube in Vivian. They offer oil changes, inspection stickers, transmission services, and vehicle batteries and key fob batteries. Mention the discount code Mudbugs25 and get 10% off on your service. Call them at 318-375-5823 for more information. Once again, it's at 318-375-5823. 5823 there. Apologies. Now, Jasser able to just get it inside the Mudbug zone. L'Esperance able to bounce it out in front for Catalano. Catalano is tipped, and no, it does not go down for icing. Jackalopes able to beat the icing. 5, 4, 3, 2, and sticked away by Tyler Hodges-Air. And that'll end the period with some pushing and shoving. Duke Earhart getting in the middle of it. Tom, number 27, the Alex Thomas, they're getting in the middle of it, but able to quickly clear away at the end of the first period. Your score, the Mudbugs 1, the Jackalopes nothing. Let's take a look at some numbers here at the end of the first period. Once again, that Mudbugs goal coming from Duke Earhart early in the period, assisted by Joseph Semengo. Semengo, pretty good player in his own right, and so is Duke Earhart, a Mudbugs returner on the matter. You know what? We will tell you the numbers when we get back from my conversation with Liam Wolf-Telby. You're listening to Shreveport Mudbugs hockey here on NATV and the Mudbugs Audio Network.
Sterling Dental Center is a proud partner of the Shreveport Mudbugs. I'm Dr. Emil Janu, and my experienced staff and I will handle all your dental needs, from routine cleanings, x-rays, cavities, toothaches, and more, with the best and safest treatment out there. We are a family here at Sterling Dental Center, and we treat our patients like family. We welcome many forms of insurance. Come get your next dental appointment at Sterling Dental Center in Shreveport by calling 318-688-1040 or logging on to sterlingdentalshreveport.com.
Welcome back to the North Caddo Express Loop First Intermission Show. I'm Duncan Welker, now sitting here with Mudbugs Sport number 25, Liam Wolf-Telby. Liam, welcome in.
How's it going?
Doing all right, bud. So, Wolfie, it's the long-awaited interview between myself and, of course, yourself. One of several Mudbugs newcomers this year, and I guess the first question I should ask is, how you finding Shreveport so far?
So far, it's so good. I feel like I fit in pretty well and made an impact.
Good. I'm about to say you. Yeah. All right. So this weekend we got the Odessa Jackalopes. They're on they're trying to find themselves just like we are early here in the season. They come off a 2 out of 3 loss against and I say 2 out of 3 loss, meaning they lost 2 games against the Amarillo Wranglers. We come off a also 2-game losing weekend last week against the Corpus Christi Ice Race. So like I said, both teams are trying to find themselves, and with that in mind, what's one thing that Soupy and Smitty have told you guys about this Odessa team? Some things to look forward to, not only tonight, but this weekend just overall.
You got to put pressure on them. They're pretty fast, so we got to keep up with them, but be in good positions and work hard.
So basically just work hard and basically keep that intense pressure is what I'm getting at, correct?
Yeah.
All right. And speaking of that intense pressure, when we tried to talk last week in Corpus, one of the themes that I had noted, and even you had noted, and a couple other guys have noted this throughout the season, but the theme so far early on has been intensity, but by that same nature, inconsistency. What's the one thing that Soupy, again, and Smitty for that matter, have told you guys about those two kind of themes and how to keep one, the intensity, and kind of diminish the other, the other one?
You just got to focus on more of the small details. Being in good spots, underhandling pucks, making the first play, and and that'll just help clean a lot of that stuff up.
Absolutely. And of course, the other theme being inconsistency. I couldn't think of it off the top of my head. What's the one thing they've both told you guys rather, about how to diminish that inconsistency? Kind of the same thing along.
Yeah, definitely. Like small details, clean that stuff up in D zone and then through the neutral zone, and kind of take each play one pass and one stride at a time.
So basically just taking one thing at a time, basically. Yeah. All right. So, Wolfie, moving outside of the game, at least for now anyways, moving on to you. So, Wolfie, like I mentioned, you're one of several Mudbug newcomers this season. Last year, remind me, you played in the Manitoba Junior League, is that correct?
Maritimes Hockey
Maritime,
League.
apologize. How about saying you played for the?
Summerside Western Capitals.
Good. I was about to say, and what do you think the main difference is in between that league and coming in here to the North American Hockey League, especially in the South Division? What do you think the main difference has been so far?
The schedule is different. So in the Maritimes, we didn't play 2 and 2. We would play Friday, Saturday, or sometimes Thursday, Saturday, Friday, Sunday. But it was 2 different teams every weekend, or at least most weekends. We're here, you're playing two games in the same weekend against the same team, the same barn. So it gets a little more chippy after that second game.
Oh, absolutely.
Where last year it was kind of the chippiness was throughout the full season.
Yeah.
Because you were seeing a guy maybe once every 2-3 weeks, where now it's 2 times in the weekend, but you may not see him for another month.
All right, and on that intensity we've seen, and not only that Corpus team last week, this week we're seeing Odessa for the first time, and I think the chippiness is, like you said, bound to come in that second game, and possibly even in the first, but I think that second game will see more of the intenseness and the chippiness there. So, Liam, tell us your kind of hockey story about how you got here. You mentioned last year you played in the Maritime Junior Hockey League, and obviously this year you're one of several Mudbug newcomers, but tell us how you got to that point. Tell us how you got here.
So I went to prep school at Rossay Netherwood School in Rossay, New Brunswick, and I was there for 3 years, so that kind of helped me develop and get to a point where I got a lot bigger and physically stronger, and had a really good 2 years there, my last 2 years there, so that got me signed in the Maritimes, and then I ended up here after talking to Soup, and I got drafted to Shreveport in the null draft. So
good. And so, saying into that hockey story about you, who's your favorite NHL team?
I like the Canes,
the
Carolina Hurricanes.
Carolina Hurricanes. How about say, do you have any particular player on there you like?
Seth Jarvis is a pretty good player, so he's kind of done well so far. This year.
Speaking of the Carolina Hurricanes, just for a quick sec, what's your opinion on the Hartford Whaler jerseys?
Oh, they're pretty nice, nasty, so they're nice.
So, Wolfie, have you always been called Wolfie, or have you always had a different nickname?
Usually change. Usually I get 3 or 4 of them, so it kind of changes up depending. But usually it's Wolfie or Talbs or Wolfer or something along those lines.
I was about to say, what's been the most interesting one?
I got called Wolfman for a little bit last year and the year before. So
Wolfman, all right, that's interesting. I'm going to keep that in mind tonight on the broadcast and throughout this weekend. But we move along here. So, Wolfie, what has been the most, how do I put this, interesting thing about Shreveport so far? A couple guys have said the heat and the weather, but what's your take on the most interesting thing you found in Shreveport so far?
I'd say the heat's you gotta adjust to it, but right now it's getting a little cooler, so it's getting that nice weather, so you can golf all year round, which I like. Everything's a little bit more spread out than I'm used to, so you kind of got to plan if you're gonna go hang out with the boys and kind of get something together. You kind of got to plan it beforehand. You can't just say, okay, I'm coming over right now.
Right.
So you got to kind of get, because a lot of the boys are spread out, so it's just one kind of thing that I've noticed.
And speaking of being spread out, billet life, I'm about to say, who are you staying with this year?
I stay with Janice and Don Watt.
The Watt family. They're good people. I'm about to say, have you found that southern food staple? A lot of guys have said jambalaya, a lot of, primarily jambalaya, but what's your Louisiana or even southern food staple that you've found so far?
I like pretty much all food, but I do love jambalaya. I like gumbo. Love some barbecue, so
barbecue.
a bit of everything. You put it in front of me, I'll probably eat it. So
Gotcha. Okay, so anything in front of you to eat. Speaking of that, one last food question, then we're going to move on to our final question here. What is your go-to pregame meal? A lot of guys said Chipotle, a lot of guys said pasta. What's yours?
Usually we do go to Chipotle a lot of times, so usually I do get chicken and rice bowl mixed together there, but if I'm at home, it's usually chicken and rice or chicken and pasta or some type of carb with either chicken or fish.
Okay. I was about to say, any particular fish you like?
For pregame, I like salmon.
Salmon. That's a good fish. That's one of mine. But we'll get to that some point down the season. All right, Wolfie, final question here. I'm going to let you get going. So it is Halloween tonight. Do you have a favorite? And this is kind of a two-part question. Do you have a favorite Halloween candy and why? And do you have a particular Halloween moment, like a good one, or even just a funny one? So to recap, favorite Halloween candy and why, and a favorite remembering Halloween moment.
My favorite candies, I'd probably say it's peanut M&Ms.
Peanut M&Ms?
That'd be my go-to.
What particular color?
I don't.
You don't have a color?
I don't have a color.
Gotcha. And then as for the Halloween moment?
I'd say just running around the neighborhood as a kid.
Just
knocking door to door, yeah. Kind of running around, getting...
I was about to say, and on top of that, what is your least favorite candy?
I'm not a huge fan of Milk Duds.
Milk Duds? Okay.
Not my favorite.
How about that? I'm kind of indifferent. A lot of people are indifferent, but, but that's good to know on all levels. So, Wolfie, thank you for joining us here on the North Caddo Express Loop First Intermission Show. Always good to hear from you, bud, and we look forward to this weekend.
Yeah, thank you.
Not a problem. We'll be back with more after these messages in the North Caddo Express Loop First Intermission Show. You're listening to Shreveport Mudbugs Hockey. You're listening to Shreveport Mudbugs Hockey on NATV and the Mudbugs Audio Network. Tonight's game action will resume in the next few minutes. You're listening to Shreveport Mudbugs Hockey on NATV and the Mudbugs. Welcome back inside the Ector County Coliseum here in Odessa, Texas. It's 1-0 Mudbugs off a goal from Duke Earhart and Duke Earhart assisted by Joseph Semango. Now, friends, it's time for the Shreveport Regional Airport First Intermission Scoreboard Update. First, let's take a look at some of the scores going on in the North American Hockey League action tonight on this All Hallows Eve. First, we're going to take a look at our friends in the South Division. Apologies for the technical issues once again on all levels, but we are able to get everything fixed, both on the NATV feed, if there was any, as well as the YouTube feed on the Mudbugs Audio Network. All right, we're back, and we are rolling here. Let's take a look at some of the scores going on in the North American League action going on. First, starting with the South Division, New Mexico, they currently lead Oklahoma 2-0. And of course, here in Odessa, it is 1-0 Mudbugs, and I believe that is the only game going on in the South Division tonight. So let's move along here in the rest of the North American Hockey League. From the East Division, the Generals, they have defeated the New Jersey Titans. That game just going final right now. The Elmira Aviators, that game in favor of the Aviators over the New Hampshire Mountain Kings, by a score of 3-1. The Rebels and the Rochester Junior Americans, that game is all tied up at 2 at the end of the second period. The North Iowa Bulls, they lead the Minnesota Mallards 3-0 with 13:19 left in the second period. The Minot Minotauros, they lead the St. Cloud Norsemen 1-0. The Austin Bruins, they lead the Watertown Shamrocks 1-0 with 15:50 left in the second period there. The Wisconsin Wendigo, they lead the Springfield Junior Blues 2-0 with 17:10 left in the second period there. The Bismarck Bobcats, they lead the Aberdeen Wings 2-1 at the end of the first period there. And the Minnesota Wilderness, they lead the Janesville Jets 1-0 at the end of the first period there. Next up, we're going to take a look at some Arklatex High School football scores coming up here in a matter of seconds. The 3:40 left in the intermission time frame. Once again, friends, Mudbugs lead 1-0 with a goal by Duke Earhart and assisted by Joseph Samango. And as I mentioned, that goal from Earhart was right in front of the Odessa netminder. That would be number 31, Kevin Jones. It was a hot and fiery snipe right past him. That, of course, gives the Mudbugs 1-0 lead there. Okay. I apologize, friends. I cannot pull up the scores of Arklatex High School football at this time right now. Of course, 3 minutes left here in this intermission time frame. Mudbugs hockey tonight, of course, is brought to you by our friends at Johnny's Pizza House. Let's share a slice of the best pizza in town. And by our friends at Coors Light. Coors Light, made to chill. Was able to get some info on these Jackalopes. You'll hear it later on. Mudbugs and Jackalopes are ready to come out here. They're standing by their respective tunnels. And here in the Ector County Coliseum, the Mudbugs actually coming from the left to right. They're going to skate out and go to the bench. Skating there, all the coaches and, of course, Willows Knighton Athletic Trainer Hunter Robinson. They're now coming out for the Mudbugs there. Of course, respective order, it's Jason Soupy Campbell, Brett Smith, and as I mentioned, Willows Knighton Health Athletic Trainer Hunter Robinson. And on the bench right now is Mudbugs longtime head equipment manager, Billy T. Welker. There's 1 minute 50 left here in the intermission frame, number 1. Puck drop, of course, the second intermission, the second period is brought to you by our friends at DeFata and Associates, investigative and risk analysis services, personal matters, child custody cases, and internal theft problems within your business. Just call our main man, Jerry DeFata, at 318-635-9944. Once again, that's Jerry DeFata at 318-635-9944. Both teams are now back out onto the ice. Jackalopes and Mudbugs. And second period action is coming up next here at the Ector County Coliseum in Odessa, Texas. Mudbugs this period will skate from left to right. Jackalopes will skate from right to left. Once again, the starting netminders are Tyler Hodges and Kevin Jones, a battle of number 31s. Actually, I didn't even realize that coming into tonight's contest. Both teams now breaking from their respective bench huddles. It'll be Duke Earhart. It'll be Duke Earhart and Joseph Samango, as well as number 15, Jonah Jasser in terms of forwards. And in terms of defense, it'll be Evan Adams and Mitchell Reed. And then for the Jackalopes, it looks like it'll be number 10, Caden Jahasi, number 15, Jeremy Jacobs, number 21, Nicholas Arrington, and then at the defense, it'll be number 24, Hunter Toms, and number 3, Shea Berry. Bugs are ready, Jacks are ready, we're ready. Puck drop is underway, second period action. Jackalopes win the faceoff. Jahasi able to feed it back to number 3, Shea Berry, and he's able to feed it right back to Jahasi, and Jacobs is able to feed it right back in. Mudbugs take it away. Evan Adams with it. He's able to just clear it outside of the Jackalope zone. Shea Berry now takes it. He sends it over to Hunter Toms. And it's intercepted by the Mudbugs. Samango with it now. Samango looking for Duke Earhart. He can't quite find him. Jackalopes take it away, and he can't clear zone. Here's Jacobs, and he loses the puck to Jonah Jasser. Jasser's going to bounce it right for Evan Adams, who sends it up to Joseph Samango. Samango now for Earhart. Jasser, he's in on the side, and that puck just goes right from blue space to blue space of the goal crease of Kevin Jones. Here come the Jackalopes now. Jahasi able to find it. Jahasi able behind his own net. His pass gets in front, tipped in front by Carter McKay. Bugs can't quite clear the Jackalope zone. Thomas now, it's number 27, Alex Thomas over for Thornton. And that puck is able to get muscled back, but not quite cleared by Johnny Burnt. Jackalope still with it. Their own zone on the right-hand circle. That's number 27, Alex Thomas now. Bugs come up away with it. Jonah Jassa behind his own net. He's battling with Alex Thomas, and he leaves it for Evan Adams. Jasser does. Now, Evan Adams leaves it for Burnt. Burnt for Chase Sakrisky. Sakrisky for Carter McKay. He comes up the right side. Some contact there by Thornton, but not enough to make him lose possession, at least initially. Jackalopes now come back out with it. That's number 26, Michael Zajac. Zajac now still with it. He's getting battled on by Remy Pusateri. Mudbugs able to come away with this. Sakrisky gets tangled up by Loveland. Melker Loveland. Mudbugs still with it. Hoagland. And looks like it'll be a call. Stoppage of play here. Like it'll be an offsides call. Faceoff will come out to the... Nope. I apologize. It'll be a Jackalopes penalty. Be a Jackalopes penalty on number 9, Melker Loveland. I believe that had something to do with wrapping up of number 38, Chase Sakrisky. We'll find out that penalty call here in a brief matter of minutes. Mudbugs will be on the Scott Powerline power play. This will be their second one of the night. Their first one earlier back in the first period. They were not as successful as they wanted to be on that power play. Hoagland will take the face-off, and so will number 12, Luke McPherson for the Jackalopes. Hoagland, false start. That'll be a false start on the face-off. This football will be 10 yards. False start on the face-off. We resume back. Hoagland and McPherson. Sticks down. Mudbugs able to come away with it, and it's just bounced out of the bug zone by Kukskowski. Sakrisky able to come up with it. Sakrisky now, he gets battled on by Kukskowski. Sakrisky stays with it. He leaves it off for Duke Earhart. Earhart over to Evan Hoagland. Talk to him next iteration. Burnt now for Carter McKay. McKay back to Burn. He comes up front. Oh, and he gets bodied, but not able to go down there. And that's good on Johnny Burnt. Hoagland for Sakrisky. Sakrisky. Earhart tries to find McKay in front, and it's covered up by Kevin Jones with 17:22 left in the second here. That'll be 1:39 left on the Mudbugs power play there. Of course, that penalty for the Jackalopes coming to number 9, Melker Loveland from Sweden. And faceoff will come out to the left. of Kevin Jones. Joe Semengo will take the faceoff for the Mudbugs. Semengo, and then that faceoff is dropped, and it looks to be won by the Mudbugs. But Semengo's pass looking for Jared Greiner bounces all the way back down. Tyler Hodges plays it for Evan Adams. Adams takes it behind his own net. Here comes Evan Adams up the right side. He leaves it for Joe Semengo behind. Semengo now over to Jared Greiner. Greiner, Parichka, but an offside is called on the Mudbugs. Faceoff will come out to the faceoff dot right in front of the Mudbugs bench. Soupy in his traditional track jacket there. Smitty in a suit. Of course, Hunter Robinson on your left and Billy T. Welker on the right. Faceoff will be on the dot in front of the Mudbug zone. Parichka will take the faceoff, and the faceoff is won by the Jackalopes. 1:10 left on Loveland's penalty. Cleared down the ice, and Hodges will leave it for Evan Adams. Adams now, he takes it to the left-hand side. Leaves it for Semengo. Semengo over for Greiner. Greiner tries to get it in. He's able just to get it into the Jackalopes zone. Thornton, he's able to backhand it. Odessa looking to clear it out of the Bug zone, but they're not able to. Jared Greiner gets a stick on it. He's trying to find a Mudbug, and he's able to find one. Joe Semengo. He leaves it for Remy Pusateri. Back to Pusateri. Or no, excuse me, that was Jacob Stock. It's caught off by the 6 there. And puck cleared down on the ice. 30 seconds left on the Mudbug Scout Power Line power play. And 16:10 left here in the second period. Evan Adams' pass is to Semengo. Semengo tries to find Sakrisky. That'll go down the ice for the Bugs. Mudbugs hockey tonight is brought to you by our friends at Johnny's Pizza House. Let's share a slice of the best pizza in town, and Coors Light made to chill. And this second period is brought to you by our friends at DeFata and Associates, investigative and risk analysis services. Personal matter, child custody cases, internal theft problems within your business. Just call our main man, Jerry DeFata, at 318-635-9944 to discuss your case, or log on to defatapi.com. 2 seconds left on the Mudbugs power play there in Loveland, and the penalty has been killed by the Jackalopes. Mudbugs now 0 for 2 on the Scott power line power play. Adams now sends it for Earhart. Here comes Duke Earhart, lone goal on the night. Earhart up the left side. Tries to get a shot on the side netting. Chase Sakrisky's able to come up away with it. Mudbugs turn it over. Here come the Jackalopes now. That'll be number 25. Jihasi, his shot gets blocked on by a Mudbug. Earhart trying to get his stick on the puck, and Vinny DiUlio is able to get his stick on the puck. It stays in the Bug zone. Sakrisky now. Sakrisky loses possession. All that in. Here come the Jackalopes back the other way. Jeremy Jacobs and Jihasi. Jacobs over to Les Perrons. Les Perrons in front. Can't find anybody. And now here come the Mudbugs. Dubbers if they hurry. That'll be Johnny. That will be Corbin Geffhart. Corbin Geffhart now able to try to find somebody in front, but can't find somebody in front there. Back come the Jackalopes. That'll be Loveland. Loveland, almost fresh out of the box. Trying to find someone in front. His pass gets blocked by a Mudbug. Jackalopes still retain possession now. Mudbugs take it away. Here comes Liam Wolf-Talby. Wolf-Talby able to just enter the Mudbug zone. And now Vinny DiUlio, and his shot is blocked, and it just bounces out of play here. Be to the into the stands, and Jackalopes fan has a souvenir going home with them tonight. 14:41 left here in the second period. Mudbugs up 1-0 off a early first period goal from Duke Earhart. Want to have your next birthday party at George's Pond? Your next birthday party, corporate get-together, school trips, and pretty much anything else. Call us at 318-636-7094. Ask for group rates for future home games. Excuse me. Got a little flustered there. Mudbugs able to take control of that draw. Carter McKay ready to shoot it. It just goes wide. Hoagland now battling with Shea Berry. Shea Berry holding onto the stick. Penalty coming up on the Jackalopes. Possibly Shea Berry. That shot goes up into the netting. That'll be a delayed penalty on the Jackalopes. That'll be a penalty, rather, on the Jackalopes. Mudbugs will go back on the Scott power line power play. Their third of the night. Second of the second period. 14:25 left here. We'll go to number 3, Shea Berry. for holding. Holding is the call there for Shea Berry. 2 minutes will be put on the board for him. 14:25 left in the second period. Faceoff will be to the right of Kevin Jones. Apologies, I almost lost the name there in my head. We move on here, folks. Carter McKay now going to take the faceoff for the Bugs, and Bugs win the faceoff, and it's back out. Back out to Burnt. Burnt over to Earhart. Earhart tries to find somebody in front. It's blocked in front. Carter McKay over to Chase Sakrisky, and it gets just tipped out of the Jackalope zone. Chase Sakrisky now able to come back up with it, and it gets cleared back down. So, oh no, here come the Jackalopes. McPherson able to gain entry of the zone before Johnny Burnt did. McPherson gets bodied and loses control of the puck by Evan Hoagland. McKay now. He gets the initial pass got blocked by a Jackalope player looking for Duke Earhart, but he's able to find it. Earhart now sends it over to Hoagland. Hoagland for Carter McKay. McKay up the left side. McKay around the boards trying to find somebody, but can't find anybody and goes out of the Jackalopes zone. 1:05 left here in the second period and 13:28 left. Jackalopes still have control. Jackalopes in front. Backhand. Save by Tyler Hodges. A backhanded chance for the Jackalopes shorthanded is saved by Tyler Hodges. He's done good on the night so far. Of course, he's hoping his performance continues. Mudbugs Hockey tonight is brought to you by Bayou Outdoors, and as mentioned earlier, Advanced Air Conditioning, as well as ETBU and Coca-Cola. Some fabulous Mudbug hockey partners there. Shot is blocked in front by a Mudbug. Jared Griner is able to come back up with it. He leaves it for Evan Adams, and Adams leaves it for Joe Semengo. Semengo now. He quarterbacks to play. He takes it himself. Semengo looking for Jake Stock. Can't quite get to it. Jackalope's able to get back on it, and Catalano is able to clear it down the ice. 30 seconds left on that penalty on Shea Berry. And for the Scott Powerline power play, Griner now behind the net. Griner leaves it for Evan Adams. Adams back to Jared Griner. Semengo now over to Stock. Stock, he finds Griner. Griner, oh, and he just loses possession, but Mudbug's able to gain it back quickly. Stock able to try to get possession on that puck, and he does. Mudbug's able to get possession. Now Semengo, he's going to go down with L'Esperance, and he clears it out of the zone. Here come the Jackalopes. It's one-on-one. And now Jackalopes are able to enter the zone. Arrington, and he can't quite find Arrington. That'd be Jacobs. He couldn't quite find Arrington. Arrington over, shot. Oh, and it just trickled wide of Tyler Hodges. Jackalopes still able to gain control of the zone. Of course, that penalty was killed off. Now Arrington, and no, sorry, puck squirted loose now. Now Stock, he finds Jonah Jasser. Jasser, here comes Jasser through the front, over to Jared Griner. Griner over to Semengo. His shot up and in the netting. Some pushing and shoving in front on Jasser. Now, of course, like I mentioned, war of the words here between the Mudbugs and Jackalopes. Of course, this is the first time these two teams have seen each other. They'll see each other a few more times. One more time here, a couple more, and a few times at the George's Pod in Hirsch Coliseum, back home in Shreveport. Faceoff will come to the left of Kevin Jones, and Vinny DeUlio will take that faceoff. You have Corbin Geffart and Remy Pusateri on the defense. Liam Wolf-Talby and Gabe Lopez-Corsi on the wings. Apologies for that. We move on here now. Loveland able to gain possession of the zone. And finds Percelli. Percelli loses it. Vinny DeUlio now. He sends it up for Liam Wolf-Talby. Talby gains the zone, and his shot is blocked in front. Lopez-Corsi. He tries to find somebody, but he can't. Jackalopes regain possession. Geffart, he's able to get on Matar. Jackalopes lose possession. Mudbug's able to regain it. Pusateri now, he's taking it up the right, and he dumps it down to the Jackalopes zone. He's able to get that quick in. Now, Mudbugs go to work here. That'll be a shot from Owen Case, and it's blocked in front, and the Jackalopes will send it down the length of the ice. No icing called. Of course, that is number 13. Daniel Kukskowski able to beat the icing. Now Jackalopes have it back in their own zone. Shea Berry, he tries to find Kukskowski this time, but nope, icing is waved off. Icing is waved off. I believe the call was that there was a tip in front. Now Pusateri sends it for Owen Case. It's turned over in front. They score. Daniel Kukskowski puts it right past Tyler Hodges. That'll be 1-1 here with 10:48 left in the second period. For what it's worth, Jackalopes took advantage of the turnover by the Mudbugs, and they're able to put it past Tyler Hodges. That'll be Daniel Kukskowski, the Romeoville, Illinois native, number 13. 13. You know, it's interesting. A lot of teams in the South Division throw things on the ice. Of course, the Mudbugs, we throw plastic crawfishes on the ice. They throw carrots here in Jackalopes country, Jackalopes land, whatever you want to call it, in Odessa. That trend was familiarized, of course, by the Detroit Red Wings. But I believe in terms of South hockey, in terms of hockey in the South, throwing things on the ice was started by the Shreveport Mudbugs. But that's not the important thing, of course. Just a little random tidbit, of course. Jackalopes able to put one past Tyler Hodges, and that would be number 13, Daniel Kukskowski. His first goal of the game. It'll be 1-1 with 10:48 left in the second period. Referees getting set up, but one thing about this Mudbugs team is they're not letting that goal phase them. They haven't let either tied or going down phase them this year. Mudbugs able to win the face-off. That'll be for Ty Easton. Easton finds Sakrisky. Sakrisky, he sends it up for Hoagland, and his pass gets blocked. Mudbugs back on their heels. They're getting back, and oh no. Jackalopes able to enter the Mudbugs zone. Looked a little offsides, but they were able to enter the zone. Now McPherson, Kukskowski calling for the puck. That'll be McPherson's shot getting blocked by a Mudbug there. Barry, shot fired, and it's saved in front by Tyler Hodges. And a little pushing and shoving by Ty Easton on Kukskowski. And I believe that is also on another Jackalopes play. I couldn't quite get a read on the number. Of course, uniform descriptions I mentioned earlier. Jackalopes are wearing their white jerseys with the red and black sections on the sleeves, and it looks like they says Jackalopes on the right sleeve. Mudbugs, of course, are wearing their their black jerseys with red striping in the shoulders and on the sleeves. Big uniform guy. Face off to the right of Tyler Hodges. Now Jackalopes able to win the face off. Havinen, that gets blocked in front. Catalano's shot get blocked. Some pushing and shoving here, and Jackalopes fans are a bit enraged that nothing was called. Wolf Tolby's shot, it gets blocked away from Kevin, or rather for Kevin Jones. Now, Parichka. Oh, Parichka with a big hit on Brandon Catalano. This one getting chippy early here, folks. This one getting chippy. Be a penalty called. There'll be a penalty called on Evan Reed. Excuse me, Mitchell Reed. Evan, of course, is his partner, Evan Adams. Be a penalty on both the Jackalopes and the Mudbugs. Penalties for the man going in for the box with the Jackalopes, number 26, Michael Zajac. Penalty for the Bugs is number 2, Mitchell Reed. Be 2 on the board for each man in front. Recap what all the penalties were coming up in our Sonic Drive-In second intermission show. Here at about 9:46 left in the second period. The second period, of course, itself is brought to you by our friends at DeFatta and Associates Investigative and Risk Analysis Services. Personal matters, child custody cases, internal theft problems with your business. Just call our main man, Jerry DeFatta, at 318-635-9944 to discuss your case, or log on to DeFattaPI.com. Both teams will be skating 4-on-4. Jackalopes able to win the faceoff. Havinen now with that puck. And Les Perrance is calling for it to set up a play here for the Jackalopes. Lesperance gets it in front, and it's sticked away by Tyler Hodges. Geffart behind the net. He tries to find Jared Greiner. Greiner is able to get it, and he finds Pusateri. Pusateri will set it behind his own net and quarterback the play. Quarterback the play here for the Bugs. Pusateri will take it up to the right hand, and he sends it for Jonah Jasser. Jasser now up the left side. Jasser He leaves it for Corbin Gephardt. Pusateri, shot, Griner, and it's blocked in front, it looked like. I don't believe Kevin Jones got a pad on it. Oh, big hit by Remy Pusateri, and we have a penalty called on Pusateri, and some shoving in front with Pusateri and Vihavaninen. Mudbugs will go down to 3 skaters aside and be on the penalty kill. It'll be the first choice personnel penalty kill. 1 minute and 9 seconds left, of course, both on the penalties to Mitchell Reed, the Jackalopes player. As for Pusateri, he'll get the call. He'll get in the box. Mudbugs will be on the first choice personnel penalty kill. First choice personnel, of course, a proud partner of Mudbugs hockey. Some discussion in front by the referee, Sabatano. And that is a long referee nameplate. I apologize, folks. Can't quite get a read on it. Nonetheless, discussions by the referees in front of the timekeepers area here in Odessa. Good crowd here tonight in Odessa. Of course, it's a Friday night, and, well, like any Southern state, they love their football, but, of course, they also love their hockey in any Southern state. Thank you for those of you tuning in on NATV and, of course, the Mudbugs Audio Network. And looks like Pusateri's going to get the gate. Yes, he is. Remy Pusateri will be out of this game, or at least out of this period. We'll have to check back in on that later on. Jackalopes fans, of course, are enthralled with that. Pusateri getting the gate, and Pusateri showing some love to the Odessa fans here, and he goes down the tunnel now. And Pusateri's penalty was upgraded to a 5-minute penalty call. That's interesting, folks. That is interesting. I'll tell you what. Of course, now his penalty will be served by number 18, Gabriel Lopez Corsi. Like I said earlier, or like I was saying, we thank you for tuning in tonight to Mudbugs Hockey. Of course, also, in particular, longtime Mudbugs Hockey supporter and insider, of course, Matt Nelson, reached out to me on Twitter and congratulated me on this debut broadcast. Jackalopes able to win the faceoff. They're now on their power play, and the Mudbugs are on the penalty kill. Jihasi sends it over for Thomas. There's a collision in front between Jihasi and Evan Adams. Barry now, over to Les Perrons. Les Perrons shot fired, and it's just wide. Battled in front now. Evan Adams is in that battle. So was Jonah Basser. Battle still in front. Jihasi looked for Thomas, couldn't find him. Les Perrons now able to Jihasi. Jihasi in front, gets blocked on the way through. Jihasi still retains control. Les Perrons now walking the tightrope. Walking the tightrope there on the blue line. Jihasi, it's passed in front and it's deflected. Mudbugs, puck just stayed inside. Of course, from my vantage point, it looked a little out, but the puck was shot in front, and a lot of people thought it went in. The goal light went on for a momentarily second. Les Perrons shot, and it's blocked in front by a Mudbug. Jackalope still with it. Jihasi now over to Les Perrons. Les Perrons keeps on it. Reed and Zajac are out of the box. It'll still be a 3-minute first choice personnel penalty kill for your Bugs, and the Bugs are able to clear it out of the Jackalope zone. Barry now able to regain control. He comes up the left side and moves up to center. Barry, and it's called off sides. Called off sides by the Jackalopes. Mudbugs Hockey, of course, also brought to you tonight by Graph Orthodontics. You'll also hear my second intermission scoreboard update brought to you by our friends at Graph Orthodontics. Hopefully everything's able to get working in terms of the other scores around the sporting world. Face-off now at the face-off circle, in front of the Jackalopes bench. Jackalopes able to win the face-off now. Loveland now, he finds Matar. Matar and McKay are up battling. Puck just almost sailing up in the air, but Jackalopes able to come away with it. Battle in front here. McKay, Percelli, Wolf Talby, several other Jackalopes players. And, and Case gets a stick on it. Mudbugs, they have numbers. It's 2-on-2. Case, shot, fired. It's blocked in front. Trying to find McKay in front. McKay regains control to Burt. Shot fired just in front, and Case shot goes wide. Now, Jackalopes, they're coming in hot and heavy down the left side. That's Shea Berry. Shea Berry, some contact from Johnny Burnt. Puck will just stay on the inside of the Mudbug zone. Matar with it. Matar on the left corner. Matar now. That will be Drew Lesperance. Sorry, Percelli, and it's shot, and it's in. It's in. They score. Power play goal. Got the stick on puck and in the net. Excuse me. Very simplification of words there. It looks like coming away with the credit will be. I can get a read on that number here. Looks like it'll be number 19, Adam Matar. The Adam Matar getting the credit on the power play goal. Of course, the penalty right now is to Remy Pusateri. 5 minutes, and it's being served by Gabriel Lopez Corsi. Like I said, we will tell you all the penalties and some other numbers around. Of course, some other numbers around this game coming up later on in the Graph Orthodontics second intermission scoreboard update, as well as the Sonic Drive-In second intermission show. Sonic Drive-In, this is how we Sonic. For what it's worth, this game has been chippy and intense. And both coaches and players of the Mudbugs, both Brett Smith and as well as Liam Wolf-Talby and Evan Oakland, as you'll hear coming up in the second intermission, they agreed that it's been intense. Mudbugs needs to stay intense. So, like I said, that goal will not phase this Mudbugs team. This Bugs team is up, banging their sticks on the boards. Face-off now comes out to Lesperance now. He sends it over to number 21, Nicholas Arrington. Jackalopes now regain control. Jacobs now back to Thomas. Thomas over to Lesperance. Lesperance, like I mentioned, leads the Jackalopes in point. Lesperance shot, and it's blocked in front. 2 minutes left on the Pusateri penalty, and the Bugs are able to clear it down the zone. Jones will leave it for Lesperance. Lesperance now going to take it up the right-hand side. Garrett bounced away onto the ice. Thomas in. Puck never got to Tyler Hodges. Jackalopes retain possession. Battling behind the net of Tyler Hodges. Now to the right corner. Reed on Jacobs. Reed now scrumming the bottom right-hand corner. The bottom left, depending on your broadcast. Left, Lesperance. Lesperance now, he finds the puck back to himself. Lesperance, Jacobs, over to the right-hand corner. Lesperance now at the top. Over to Jacobs. Jacobs, it's blocked by Vinny DeUlio. Lesperance comes back away with it. Lesperance, that shot fired. It gets also blocked by Jonah Jasser. Evan Adams trying to take it away. Jackalopes battling. That's Arrington, and I believe that is number 10, Caden Jihasi, battling with him on the inside. Jackalopes able to take possession of it. Jackalopes now, they pass it back out to Lesperance. Drew Lesperance shot, and it's blocked in front. Actually, no. Hodges was able to get his pads on it. It just bounced out of it. Jacobs now trying to stay on that. Of course, some contact from Vinny DeUlio. Thomas! And it's saved away by Tyler Hodges. Puck still in play here. Matar now. Matar got the second period goal. 4:20 left here in this second period. Jackalopes, they try to find a play here. It'll be over to Barry. Apologies. Barry over to Lesperance. Lesperance now back to Barry. Barry shot fired. It's blocked away. Jasser trying to keep it. Jackalopes keep it in zone. Jasser, he's up the right-hand side. He's in, but 2-on-1. Wait, no numbers. Be a penalty called on the Jackalopes. Looks like it might be hooking. We'll have to get a final confirmation here from, of course, the referees in tonight's game. Jeremy Jacobs will be going into the box for hooking. 2 minutes for hooking. And, of course, that Remy Pusateri penalty, I haven't mentioned it in a while, I apologize. 1 second left on that, and 3:56 left in this second period. And of course, that Pusateri penalty is being served by Gabriel Lopez Corsi. And in the box for the Jackalopes right now is Jeremy Jacobs for hooking. Carter McKay will take the face-off here against number 12, Luke McPherson. Face-off advantage goes to the Jackalopes. Short-handed, Kukskowski on the left calling for the puck. Able to finally get what he wanted. He just dumps it, and it goes behind the net. Now Johnny Burnt, and now your Bugs are on the Scott Powerline powered play. Evan Hoagland now, he leaves it back for Duke Earhart, who had that spectacular goal in the first period. Where's that goal coming with? Joe Semango on the assist. Earhart back to Sakrisky. Sakrisky's shot or pass, I couldn't quite tell, got blocked in front. Hoagland now. Adams back to Hoagland. Back to Adams. Mudbugs still keep it. Mudbugs are playing tic-tac-toe. Best game in hockey. Adams now able to regain it after that shot was sticked away by Kevin Jones. Hoagland for McKay. McKay, Adams, shot it, just gets blocked and goes to the left of Kevin Jones. Adams now for Hoagland. Hoagland, and it just misses. I believe it got blocked in front or blocked by Kevin Jones, couldn't quite tell. Adams now finds it for Hoagland. Sakrisky, shot, and it's loose. And the Jackalopes able to clear it out. Adams trying to find Duke Earhart, couldn't quite find it. Luckily able to retain possession. Adams now finds Joe Semango. Semango, shot, fired in, he scores! I believe that'll be Duke Earhart. Let's get that final confirmation. Yes, it will. It'll be Duke Earhart. Duke Earhart with his second goal of the night ties things up here in Odessa. 2-2 with 2:25 left in the second period. Power play goal for Duke Earhart. Backhand goal, and this game's all tied up here, folks. For what it's worth, I get the feeling that this third period is going to be intense, chippy, and very skillful. But we'll have to find that out coming up later on in the third period, which, of course, is brought to you by our friends at Delta Utilities. Know what's below? Call 811 to locate buried utilities at least 2 days before digging for any project. Jackalopes able to come up with it. That's Matar. It gets blocked away by Tyler Hodges. Mudbugs now trying to gain that puck back. Jared Griner, he was able to gain contact on that puck. Still in the Bug zone. Vinny DeUlio now, he leaves it for Reed. Reed, he turns it over. Matar! And a glove saved by Tyler Hodges. Some pushing and shoving in front of Hodges' net. He just says, all right, cool. 2:02 left here in the second period. Mudbugs and Jackalopes tied at 2. Off the goal from Duke Earhart, and he's had both goals tonight. I believe that second one was assisted by Joe Semango. Like I said, I'll have to get the numbers for you and more coming up on the Sonic Drive-In second intermission show. Sonic Drive-In, this is how we Sonic. Looks like it'll be Jacobs and Parichka taking the face-off. Jackalopes able to win the face-off. It's for Shea Berry now. Jacobs able to get it just into the corner. Oh, Case got dipsy-dooed around, and he thought there should have been a call, but we move on here. Wolf Talby now trying to find Johnny Byrne. He does. Trying to find, but Mudbugs are able to think on their feet quick. He was trying to find Jake Stock, and it looked like it was going to be offsides because he lost his footing. Able to recover there now. Arrington now. He gets held up in a corner by a Mudbug. Jihasi now. His pass gets blocked by Owen Case. Now, Jacob Stock, he's trying to find a Mudbug. Yes, he does. He finds Andre Parichka. Parichka up front. He's just able to get in the zone and just cleared it right back out. Andre Parichka now leaves it for Johnny Burnt after a deflection in deep. Deflection in the neutral zone. I apologize. Andre Parichka now. He's able to get it into the Mudbug zone. Jones will leave it for Tyler Berry. He'll pass it up to, Shea Berry. 1 minute remaining here left in the second period. Bugs 2, Jacks 2. What's to come, folks? It's been intense, chippy, and skillful, like I said. Coming up here now, Jake Stock with it up the left side. Stock, he's just able to find Jonah Jasser. Jasser tried to pass it in front to Joseph Mango, and that got blocked on the way through. Jackalopes. It looked like he was trying to find number 13, Daniel Kukskowski. Kukskowski, the goal earlier on in the game. Semengo now trying to stick it. And when I mean stick it, I mean, of course, regain control. And the puck gets rolled on to the net of Kevin Jones, and he covers up. 22.7 left here in the second period in the Ector County Coliseum here in Odessa, Texas. It's 2-2 between your Bugs and the Jackalopes. Been an interesting game on this Halloween Friday night. Of course, there's more to come tomorrow night, first night of November. Of course, November starts the best month of the year, at least in my opinion, but talk about that some other time. Faceoff will be out to the left of Kevin Jones. Jackalopes able to win that faceoff cleanly, and it'll go down the length of the ice. Catalano is not able to beat the icing. Johnny Burns able to get there first. The icing will go back down to the net of Kevin Jones. 15.9 left here in the second period. Once again, we thank you for joining us here on Mudbugs Hockey on NATV, and of course the Mudbugs Audio Network on YouTube. Hopefully the issues there have been fixed. Faceoff is in advantage of the Jackalopes, but not for long. Bugs come up with it. Sakrisky now. Puck is in the left-hand corner. McKay. That puck gets turned over. 3 and 2, 1, and that'll be it for the second period, folks. Bugs 2, Jackalopes 2 here in the left corner. Be Corbin Geffard trying to get some action in with a Jackalope. I believe that'll be number 27, Alex Thomas from Pittsburgh. Gephardt and Thomas, some extracurriculars after the period ended. And folks, like I said, this third period can go any way the Bugs want, but it can also go any way the Jacks want. And I think that's really all that can be said. But in my opinion, I think it's going to be intense, chippy, and skillful, like I said earlier on in the period. When we come back, it'll be my conversation with Evan Hoagland on the Sonic Drive-In Second Intermission Show. Of course, you're listening to Shreveport Mudbugs Hockey here on NATV and the Mudbugs Audio Network.
Hey, this is Chet Yoder, voice of the Mudbugs. DeFada and Associates Investigative and Risk Analysis Services has been conducting professional private investigations of services to both individuals and businesses. Whether you need an investigator for a personal matter like a child custody case or you suspect an internal theft problem with your business, DeFada and Associates has the experience, training, and knowledge to get you the information you need. Call Jerry today at 318-635-9944 to talk about your case or visit them online at defadapi.com. As a business owner, you know it's important to stay ahead of your competition to succeed. One dishonest employee providing poor customer service can send your business to the penalty box. DeFada and Associates has over 20 years of investigative experience that can help you monitor your employees and investigate losses that may be keeping you from reaching your goals. Whether you need GPS tracking, investigative shopping, integrity testing, or you're experiencing losses caused by theft, DeFada and Associates can help. Give them a call at 318-635-9944 or check out their website at defadapi.com for more information.
Welcome back inside the Ector County Coliseum here in Odessa, where it's 2-2 between your Shreveport Mudbugs and the Odessa Jackalopes. Like I said, we're going to take a look at some numbers from this period. I can pull it up here. Been a litany of technical issues, but we are able to make it through, and we, of course, thank you all for tuning in on, like I mentioned, NATV and the Mudbugs Audio Network on YouTube. So let's take a look at some of those numbers real quick here for you. Shots on goal are shots are looking to be in favor of the Bugs, 39-37 in terms of total shots. In that second period, shots on goal total is 23-16 in favor of the Jackalopes. Tyler Hodges with 35 saves on the day. And, of course, Kevin Jones with 37 shots on the day there. Now let's move into, of course, what happened and how we got to this point. Duke Earhart, of course, with that first goal from Joseph Semengo and Jonah Jasser. Of course, in the second period, Jalen Kukskowski tied things up for the Jackalopes from Luke McPherson and Gabe Pankratz. And then Adam Matar from Jack Lesperance and Nicholas Percelli led the Jackalopes 2-1. But Duke Earhart was able to find that second goal on the power play. Of course, the assist coming from Joseph Semengo and Andre Parichka. Of course, now let's get into those penalties. And I had forgot to mention the details, I suppose. Anyways, moving on here. Melker Loveland had a holding minor. Shea Berry had of course, another holding minor, as mentioned. Michael Zajac had a roughing minor. Parichka had a roughing minor, which is interesting because I believe they called that on Randy Pusateri, but nonetheless. Gabriel Lopez Corsi had a head contact minor. Of course, that was 5 minutes. Jackalopes were able to score on that. And Jeremy Jacobs had a holding minor for 2 minutes. And that goal, of course, that penalty for the Jackalopes, led to a Mudbugs power play goal. Those are the numbers here on the Sonic Drive-In second intermission show. Of course, Sonic Drive-In, this is how we Sonic. Coming up next, my conversation with Evan Hoagland. Coming up here on the Sonic Drive-In second intermission show. You're listening to Shreveport Mudbugs Hockey here on NATV and the Mudbugs Audio Network. Welcome back to the Sonic Drive-In second intermission show. This is How We Sonic. Now I'm sitting here with Mudbugs forward number 23, Evan Hoagland. Evan, welcome in.
Hi.
No, you're good, brother. You're good. So, Evan, we got the Odessa Jackalopes this weekend on this Halloween weekend, which I'll get back to that later on when we wrap things up here. Of course, last week we came off a tight and tough series against the Corpus Christi Ice Rays. Of course, that Friday night being a regulation loss, and then the Saturday night game was some positives and a unfortunate negative. You know, we were able to gain a point with a shootout loss. But it's a new series, it's a new weekend. But in saying that, what are some of the positives that you guys have taken away from that Corpus series and planning on applying them tonight? What are some of those?
We just kept working hard, and we didn't let Friday determine, and then we came back and brought it back into OT and shootout Saturday, and we kept working hard.
Yep. So that's the biggest thing. Just keep being kind of aggressive and keep working at it.
Yeah.
Everything has to be that 1% better.
Yeah.
Okay. So this week, like I mentioned, we got the Odessa Jackalopes, both us and them for that matter. We're trying to find our place, kind of our footing in the South Division right now. Odessa, of course, is coming off a 3-3 weekend. They were only able to win one on the 3 weekend against Amarillo. And from what I've been told, they're a bit of a fast puck moving team. Is that one of the things that Soupy and Smitty has kind of reiterated with you guys?
Yeah.
So with that in mind, what other things have they kind of told you guys to look out for with this Odessa team?
Just pretty much they're fast, and they like to get pucks in deep, so we just got to hit them and get in their way.
So just stay aggressive.
Yeah.
And I was about to actually ask, or rather say, it seems to me like the theme so far has been intensity, but also inconsistency. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
I was about to say, so the intensity level, we have a lot of intense guys on this team. I was about to say, I think you being one of them.
Yeah.
I was about to say, so the main thing I think tonight here is, and you can tell me if I'm wrong on this, just keep that intensity. Am I correct on that?
Yeah. We had a couple fights that helped us, and we got going. So, yeah.
Absolutely. So just keep that intensity up. All right. So moving away from this weekend's contest, for now at least, Evan, how have you been finding Shreveport?
Oh, it's very fun,
Been fun?
Oh, yeah.
No, you're good. You're good. The timing of it's a bit awkward, but we move on. That's something I'll address later. No, I'm kidding. Moving on here. So in terms of finding Shreveport, billet life, how's it been? Who are you staying with?
The Kennedys.
Kennedys, good people, good people.
Yeah.
Do you have any billet brothers?
No. Or
Just-
yeah, Bryce Boucher from last year, and then Jacob.
And then Jacob.
That's their kid.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay, so Bryce Boucher from last year's team, he's a good kid.
Yeah.
All right. So now moving on to you specifically. Tell us your hockey story. Tell us how you got here, really, from where you came from and all the way to, well, right here and right now in Odessa.
One of the scouts back up in Michigan talked to me about, like, at playoffs and stuff. And then a couple months later, they offered me a tender spot.
Nice. I was about to say, so where are you from exactly? You're from?
Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan.
All right.
Way north.
Way north, okay. So who's your favorite NHL team?
Capitals.
Capitals. That's a heck of a
Yeah.
geographical stretch. Hey, but you know what? I don't judge. I'm a Penguins fan, and I live in Louisiana. So you know what?
Yeah.
We listen and we don't judge here. Sitting here with Mudbugs forward number 23, Evan Hoagland. So Hoagie, speaking of that name, Hoagie, what is the weirdest nickname you've had? And I asked, and of course I asked some other guys this, but I'm gonna ask you this: what is some of the weirdest nicknames you've ever gotten? Hoagie's one of them, but what's the other
Definitely
one?
Hoagie Bear.
Hoagie Bear.
Yeah.
Okay, Hoagie Bear. You know what? I'm going to keep that in mind for tonight's broadcast. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Of course, the other one, William Wolf Talby, he said the weirdest one he ever got was Wolfman.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez.
So, moving along here. So, what is someone you try to kind of model your game after, if anyone, in the NHL, or do you just kind of try to play your own game?
I just try to play my own game.
Okay. Now, in saying that, we know you're a forward, but let me ask you something. Would you rather stay at forward, or if you had to pick, would you go to the back line on defense, or would you be in net, like, if you had a choice?
Definitely stay forward.
Definitely stay in front?
Yeah.
Fair enough. So, Hoagie, I'm going to ask you one more thing, and then I'm going to let you get going here. So, it is Halloween weekend. It's Halloween tonight, actually. Of course, tomorrow is the day after Halloween. But tonight specifically, I have kind of a two-parter question here for you. The first one being, what is your favorite Halloween candy? And the second one being, what is a positive or even funny Halloween memory that you have, either as a kid or even now?
My favorite candy is definitely Snickers.
Snickers, okay.
Funny Halloween memory.
Yeah, let's go on the funny side.
I'm not sure.
I was about to say, well, that's fine if you don't have. Do you have a good one at least?
Me and my dad and my sister would always go trick or treating when we were younger.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Good times between you and your family.
Yeah.
All right. So, Hoagie, thanks for joining me here on the Sonic Drive-In Second Intermission Show. Good luck to you this weekend.
Thank you.
Looking for a big, strong weekend.
Yeah.
Especially on your end. And we'll be back with more after these messages in the Sonic Drive-In Second Intermission Show. You're listening to Shreveport Mudbugs Hockey.
Hey, this is Chet Yoder, voice of the Mudbugs. DeFada and Associates Investigative and Risk Analysis Services has been conducting professional private investigations for over 20 years. They offer a full range of services to both individuals and businesses. Whether you need an investigator for a personal matter, like a child custody case, or you suspect an internal theft problem with your business, DeFada and Associates has the experience, training, and knowledge to get you the information you need. Call Jerry today at 318-635-9944 to talk about your case, or visit them online at defadapi.com. As a business owner, you know it's important to stay ahead of your competition to succeed. One dishonest employee providing poor customer service can send your business to the penalty box. DeFada and Associates has over 20 years of investigative experience that can help you monitor your employees and investigate losses that may be keeping you from reaching your goals. Whether you need GPS tracking, investigative shopping, integrity testing, or you're experiencing losses caused by theft, DeFada and Associates can help. Give them a call at 318-635-9944 or check out their website at defadapi.com for more information.
For those that have fallen, I say get up. For those that are asleep, I say wake up. For those that are seated, I say rise. It is time. The world needs what we possess. The only hope for a dark world is the light of Jesus Christ. Let your light so shine.
Thank you for tuning in to this Word of God Ministries message.
Welcome back inside the Ector County Coliseum here in Odessa, Texas, where it is 2-2 between your Bugs and the Jackalopes. Now, fans, it's time for the Graph Orthodontics second intermission in-depth look around the world of sports. Firstly, we're going to take a look at some scores in the rest of the North American Hockey League action. First, starting with our friends in the South Division. El Paso, they defeated Amarillo by a score of 4-2. Of course, that game very important to El Paso fans there. Moving along here, Johnstown, the Tomahawks, they defeated the Maine Nordiques. I apologize, other way around. Nordiques defeated the Tomahawks by a score of 5-4. That was not a South Division score, but what is a South Division score is the Ice Wolves. They lead the Warriors by a score of 2-0 with 11:33 left in the third period there. Now that is it for the South Division, of course, here in Odessa. It is 2-2 all between the Bugs and the Jackalopes. Now moving on to the rest of the North American Hockey League. The Titans defeated the Generals by a score of 3-2. The Mountain Kings, they lead the Elmira Aviators, and that actually game went final by a score of 6-3 there. The Rochester Junior Americans, they defeated the Philadelphia Rebels by a score of 5-2. And of course, moving along here, the North Iowa Bulls, they lead the Minnesota Mountains by a score of 5-1. The Monitoros, they lead the St. Cloud Norsemen 1-0 in the third period there. The Austin Bruins, they lead the Watertown Shamrocks by a score of 1-0. 13:45 left there. The Wisconsin Wendigo, they lead the Springfield Junior Blues by a score of 3-1. The Janesville Jets, they lead the Minnesota Wilderness by a score of 2-1. The Bismarck Bobcats lead the Aberdeen Wings by a score of 4-2 with a minute left to go in the second period there. And of course, two games still left on the docket. The Anchorage Wolverines taking on the Kenai River Brown Bears at 7:30 Alaska time, as well as the Chippewa Steel taking on the Fairbanks Ice Dogs at 7:30 Alaska time as well. Both teams are at their respective tunnels. Of course, the Jackalopes are going to come out behind the tunnel, and the Mudbugs are to my left here. Of course, coaches now for both teams are coming out on the bench. Jason Soupy Campbell, Brett Smith, and Mudbugs athletic trainer Willis Knight, and athletic trainer Hunter Robinson, and of course, Billy T. Welker right behind him. But I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I love my dad. Of course, this is his 40th year in hockey, both in professional and junior levels. And speaking of quality work at such a long-time level, Mudbugs Hockey tonight is brought to you by Down Home Meats, our friends at Down Home Meats. They have the perfect sausage for all occasions. You know, they're featured in the Food Network's Barbecue America, highlighted in the Houston Livestock and Rodeo Show World Championship Cook-Off, and they're known as the top-selling sausage item in all of your favorite grocery stores. They can be found within a 250-mile radius of the Stonewall, Louisiana area. Of course, that's Down Home Meats, one of my favorites. Both teams are now out on the ice. Third period action coming up next. Bugs, Jackalopes, third period to follow in 33 seconds. We're just going to stay right here. Hope everyone's Halloween has gone well, and if there's any kids listening out in the audience tonight, hope the candy is the best it's ever been. And trust me, I was young and had the Halloween candy trick-or-treating in Shreveport neighborhoods as well as Alabama neighborhoods. Candy was quite as delicious as it could be. Of course, there was the parent tax, but the less said about that right now, the better. Of course, my favorite Halloween candy is Reese's, anything sour, but also candy corn. I know, kind of a hot take, but we'll move on. Of course, this game action started off little slow, but then right, intense, heavy, chippy, skillful. I think that's all can be said about this game. Third period action is coming up shortly here. The referees are getting ready. Bugs are going over to their netminder, Tyler Hodges, and he stood on his head tonight. Of course, Jackalopes going over to their netminder, number 31, Kevin Jones. He's been doing well for them. Bugs are up on their feet. Jacks are up on their feet. Be Jonah Jasser taking the faceoff against number 15, Jeremy Jacob. 50-15. Faceoff underway. Jackalopes won the faceoff, but instantly turn it over. Reed now taking it and passing it over to number 36, Joe Samango. Samango just swiftly nuzzles it into the Jackalope zone, and it's comes up for Arrington now. Arrington now loses the puck. Samango. Error shot! Oh, off the post. Backhand. Rebound by Mitchell Reed. Not able to get in. Jackalopes now come back with it. Arrington now up the right-hand side, and he gets crunched by Jonah Jasser. Now, Adams finds Reed. Down here to my right, Remy Pusateri, of course, along with several other Mudbugs healthy scratches on tonight. Of course, the Morrison Dewitt injury report, no injuries to report, just one, of course. Ryan Barrett, he's doing well. Wish him the best in recovery. But we move on. Jackalopes now. Thomas is in the right-hand corner. Over to Richards. Richards, it gets in front, but nothing doing there. Carter McKay is able to come up with the rebound and give it over to Owen Case, who's able to backhand it back to Evan Adams. Now Adams behind his own net sends it for Case. Case now sends it for Hoagland. Hoagland, and that puck gets tipped and recovered by Evan Hoagland. Hoagland, he's in, but not able to get in, and looked like he was hooked, but that's why I'm not a referee, folks. Moving along here, Sakrisky now in front. His puck gets poked away. Hoagland now, shot fired, and it's into the chest of Kevin Jones. Of course, this third period tonight, folks, is brought to you by Delta Utilities. Delta Utilities know what's below. Call 811 to locate buried utilities at least 2 days before digging any project. Again, that's Delta Utilities, proud partner of your Shreveport Mudbugs. 18:27 left to go in this third period. Mudbugs 2, Jackalopes 2. Parichka will take the face-off, and Parichka's able to win it cleanly for Johnny Burnt, but he misses, and the puck goes out of the Bugs zone. Loveland able to gain control, but it's poked away by the Bugs. Now here come the Bugs. It'll be number 25, Liam Wolf-Talby. He's able to puck scatters into the left-hand corner there. Jackalopes takes it away, but it gets poked by Andre Parichka. Stopped temporarily. Percelli now. He enters the Mudbug zone. He gets some contact from Ty Easton. He goes down. Parichka now sends it over to Easton. Easton goes down. Not very often you see that. Wolf-Talby trying to gain some possession on that. Not able to hold it. And it goes the other way now. And now Ty Easton's able to recover it. Some funky handles there. And be delayed offside, and Jackalopes are able to get out of the Bug zone while the puck is, of course, in. They didn't bring it in, of course. That's how the offside works. Bit of a slapdash explain of offsides, but we move on here. Jackalopes now take it up their left-hand side. It's tipped. No icing there. Tyler Hodges plays it behind his net. Number 5, Owen Case. Case now. He shoots it around for Gabriel Lopez Corsi. Corsi now for Corbin Gephardt. Gephardt to Case. Case back to Gephardt. Bit of a back and forth there between Gephardt and Case. Case finds Corsi, and it tips off. No icing there. Good work by Lopez Corsi. Good hockey knowledge there. Jackalopes able to come out with it. Kukskowski finds McPherson. McPherson and Pankratz had a possession on it, but got muscled away by the Bugs there. And Jackalopes still have possession. I believe that's McPherson. Yes, it is now. Arrington takes control in the left corner. Arrington holding it through Mudbug contact. Finds Shea Berry. That goes wide. Goes wide and left, I should add. He tried to find somebody in front and tip it in. Nothing doing there. Owen Case tried to find it. Couldn't come up with it. Mudbugs Jackalopes. Arrington now for Odessa. Comes up with it behind the net. Shot fired. Glove save. That shot was fired from number 5, Henry Thornton, the Westchester, PA native. Lots of Pennsylvania guys in this contest. The Keystone State, of course. That's the fun part of having a history and geography nerd on a broadcast. You learn a lot about states, even at a basic level. Mudbugs hockey tonight is brought to you by our friends at the North Caddo Express Lube in Vivian. Speaking of that North Caddo Express Lube in Vivian, we'll get to them in a moment. Mudbugs win the face-off. Jasser now able to muscle it through, and Samango gets possession, control of the puck. Samango in on the left. Samango tried to find Jasser. That play gets broken up by the Jackalopes. Jasser back for Samango. Samango now. He tries to get it in just in sneakily there, but nothing doing. Instead, Mitchell Reed will get it in. Of course, it's played by Kevin Jones there. And the puck is touched up now by some Mango, but nothing doing there as it was called offsides. Now, for our friends at the North Caddo Express Lube in Vivian, of course, North Caddo Express Lube in Vivian, they offer oil changes, inspection stickers, transmission services, and vehicle batteries and key fob batteries as well. Mention the discount code MUDBUGS25 and get 10% off service. Call 318-375-5823 for more information. Puck is now in the Jackalopes zone. Bugs and Jacks now battling for it, and it comes out front. McKay couldn't find anybody in front. Sakrisky comes up with it. Loses his Jackalopes, lost his stick. Catalano lost his stick. Brandon Catalano, and Zajac dumps it in behind the Bug zone. Ty Easton now for Burnt. Burnt for Hoagland. Hoagland trying to find Chase Sakrisky there. And it just goes wide of Sakrisky. Jackalopes able to take possession of it. Lesperance try to find Catalano, but it goes just on the inside. Catalano battling alongside Ty Easton. Ty Easton's able to come up with it and sends it. Hoagland trying to gain possession of it. He does. Stock finds Hoagland. Shot, and it's blocked away by Jones. Jackalopes now come up with it. Percelli sends it up for Catalano. Catalano finds his man, and it just goes wide and right. Toms, it's fired in, and it's into the pads of Tyler Hodges, the Gormley, Ontario native, and the Dartmouth commit, actually. Actually learned that a couple weeks ago. Good for him. Good for him, folks. Mudbugs hockey tonight, of course, is brought to you by our friends McKay Consulting, Metro Aviation, the Shreveport Bossier Sports Commission, the Shreveport Regional Airport, Southern Air, Willis Knighton, who gave us, of course, our great friend Hunter Robinson, and Pro Like Energy. Jackalopes win the face-off. Barry shot fired, and it's blocked away. Barry now trying to find Tom. He tries to shoot it himself. It just goes above the net of Tyler Hodges. Reeder now takes it over to Stock. Stock, he finds Wolf Talby. Wolf Talby finds Parichka. He's able to gain the zone. Parichka backhand. Wolf Talby shot. It's still loose, and nothing doing there, but Parichka's able to gain possession of it. Bugs. Adams fires, and it gets blocked on by Barry on the way through. Oh, Parichka tried to find Evan Adams, but possession, nothing doing there. Mudbugs get a partial line change there. Parichka with a little shove to McPherson there, but we move on here. And the play's going to be behind the Bug zone, and Mitchell Reed will take care of that and send it up for Vinny DeUlio. Vinny now able to get through the Odessa defender. Vinny finds his way into the zone. It gets caught up in the feet of Richards. Richards trying to battle it, keep it out of the Jackalope zone, and he does for McPherson. McPherson offside is the call. So pushing and shoving there, but nothing doing in terms of that. 13:41 left here in the third period. Bugs 2, Jacks 2. Been an interesting game so far. Power play goals coming from both sides of the docket. Of course, both goals for the Mudbugs at least coming from Duke Earhart, and then both goals at least one assist from Joseph Samango. The other, of course, from Jonah Jasser, and the second Earhart goal with the assist from Andre Parichka. Face off now outside of the Mudbug zone in front of their bench. Odessa's able to just kitty corner it into the right-hand corner. Corbin Geffhardt's able to gain control of it. Send it for Samango. Samango trying to backhand pass it to Earhart. Nothing doing there. McPherson shoots it in himself. It gets stick saved away by Tyler Hodges. The net's off. It's mooring there. Yes, it wasn't noticed. Loose in front. Oh, just off the glove of Tyler Hodges, folks. Jackalope still keep possession. McPherson, he's getting battled on by several Mudbugs, and Mudbugs still trying to find that clear zone, and Earhart goes down. Can't find his stick. Stick will be behind him. Able to finally get out of the zone. Jasser now finds Samango. Jasser shot, and it's in the pads. And like I said, folks, it's getting chippy. Some pushing and shoving going on there, but light pushing and shoving going on there between all parties involved. Looks like Jasser and Samango were the two Mudbug parties involved against several Odessa Jackalopes. The face-off will come out to the right of Kevin Jones here with 12:56 left in the third period. Carter McKay will take the face-off, and L'Esperance trying to reenact what happened to Duke Earhart in front, but nothing doing there. McKay able to get control of the face-off, but unfortunately not able to win it. L'Esperance wins it. Here comes Odessa up the left-hand side. Shot. Oh, just stays off the goal line. That was Jihasi. That absolutely looked like Caden Jihasi there. And the puck was able to stay just out of the back of the net of Tyler Hodges. Good defensive play there from not only the Bugs, but also good goalkeeping, good goaltending there by Tyler Hodges. And as Steve Dangle always says, if you're a goaltender, tend the goalie. And he certainly did that, folks. But I digress. Face-off now comes out to the left of Hodges. Face-off draw control, tied up, and it's advantage Jackalopes. Be in the right-hand corner here. Our right-hand corner, I should add. Mudbugs able to get a stick on it, but not cleanly control possession. Now they are. They get it out of the zone, at least for the moment. Jacks re-enter the Mudbug zone. Shot is blocked away. Shot came from Lamer. I apologize. That is number 2, Austin Lamer from Tomahawk, Wisconsin. Chase Sakrisky now up the left-hand side. Sakrisky makes a move, and it gets poked away by Lamer as he tried to find something there. Jackalopes trying to re-enter the Mudbug zone. Mudbugs putting up a fight. Here. Ty Easton trying to get the puck out from under Jacobs. Not able to do so. Jackalopes. Whoo. And that looked tight, folks. I'll tell you what, that looked tight. But Jackalopes regain possession in their own zone. Be number 2, Austin Lamer. That'll be number 27, Alex Thomas. Mudbugs get a stick on it, but it gets dumped behind the net of Tyler Hodges. Jackalopes keep possession. Jackalopes are in front. Oh. Jackalopes player goes down. There's going to be a penalty called on the Mudbugs. Of course, the Jackalope player that went down was number 27, Alex Thomas. Looks like Wolf Talby will get the door. No, excuse me, that's Ty Easton. Interesting. And I say that not because the penalty. I say that because it looked like they were going more so towards Wolf Talby, less towards Easton. But they get Ty Easton for 2 there. They get Ty Easton there. Face-off will come out to the left of Tyler Hodges. 11:29 left here in the third period here in Odessa, Texas, in the Ector County Coliseum. Once again, we thank you for tuning in to Shreveport Mudbugs Hockey here on NATV and the Mudbugs Audio Network on YouTube. Wherever you're listening or watching in the Arklatex or various parts of the United States and Canada, I'd like to thank you for listening or tuning in. Face-off now coming out to the left of Tyler Hodges. Puck is dropped, and Odessa gains control now. Tom's able to find his man. That's number 9. It's 9, Loveland. Loveland now finds Toms once again. Toms over to Barry. Shea Barry holding it. Now sent it back over to Toms. Toms back for Barry on the right hand, at least our right hand. That'd be the left. Tyler Hodges. Toms, it's fired and it's blocked in front. And I believe Hodges got a little bit of it on, and it's cleared down the ice. Mudbugs, of course, on the first choice personnel penalty kill here. 10:50 left to go here in the third period, and 1:20 left in that penalty on Ty Easton. Oh, it's in front, contact in front. Nothing doing there. Net comes off its moorings. Mudbugs Hockey, once again, is brought to you tonight by Fleet Pride, Grant Orthodontics, Bayou Roofing and Mechanical Services, McKay Consulting, and Metro Aviation. While we got a quick second here, I'd like to say thank you to some of the Mudbugs billets, Chad Abernathy, John and Brianna Belton, Miss Harriet Body, Dave and Casey Brocato, Jason and Courtney Davis, and Levi and Charlie Dew. Several Mudbug billets there. Mudbugs able to wrestle the face off, but not quite able to clear it out of the zone. Arrington now in the right corner, our right corner. Jacobs now, he's looking for L'Esperance, and he finds him just barely. L'Esperance with a jab at the puck and able to get it back out, keep it in. L'Esperance, that shot goes wide. Arrington now comes up with the rebound. He finds his man, Josh Jacobs. Jihasi, save. Thomas looked for the rebound. Excuse me, flustered there, folks. Mudbugs battling in here on the penalty kill. Penalty kill, one of the main things that Smitty said he wanted to work on, and definitely been able to work on it so far in this game. Bugs now. Jacobs fires, shot. It's in the pads of Tyler Hodges. 9:58, some momentarily pushing and shoving from Mitchell Reed and Caden Jihasi. Like I said, 9:58 left to go here. It's 2-2 between your Bugs and the Odessa Jackalopes. Good crowd here tonight in Odessa. And it is Halloween night, so some costumes in the building. You see Woody. See a couple other people. I've seen some Hanson brothers from Slapshot. Clark Griswold. But happy Halloween, folks. Face off now, able to tie up. L'Esperance controlled with it now. Thomas back to L'Esperance. L'Esperance trying to dangle around but can't find it around Jared Greiner. Thomas finds Jacobs. Jacobs fires, shot. It's tipped in front and it goes wide. Mudbugs battling, and there is 5 seconds remaining on that penalty to Ty Easton. First choice personnel penalty 2-1, and that's it for the penalty on Ty Easton. Penalty killed. First choice personnel penalty killed. Jackalopes fires, shot, and it just goes wide. L'Esperance, his shot gets blocked, pad saved away from Tyler Hodges. L'Esperance now trying to find a Jackalope, and he does. Kukowski with a goal on the night. He gets blocked in front by Evan Adams. Jackalopes still retain possession in the Bug zone. They're trying to find a shot here, and a quick shot here, and it just gets cleared away of the goalie's crease there, but still in the Bug zone. Jihasi finds his man. That'll be number 8, Austin Richards. Richards trying to find his man. Corbin Geffard able to get a stick on it. Looking for Duke Earhart. Both goals on the night. Bugs trying to clear out of zone and gets blocked in front by a Jackalope. Evan Adams now. He gets muscled into the boards. Not too hard, though. Not too hard. Bugs able to gain possession on it. Duke Earhart now. Oh, that's a hit on Corbin Geffard, and his helmet goes off. He has to go back to the bench. Kukowski try to get a possession on it. Nothing doing, but puck still in the Jackalope zone. Pankratz fires, shot, it's blocked away by Tyler Hodges. Puck still in the Bugs zone. Kukowski comes up with it. Now for the Bugs. Earhart trying to come up with it now for them, but he can't quite get it. Percelli tried to shoot it. It just went wide of Tyler Hodges. Bugs will clear it down the ice, and that'll be an icing, folks. That'll be an icing. And a well-relieved icing for the Bugs, I have to say. I believe I heard a buzzer. I could be wrong on that. Nope. Looks like they were going to call immediate timeout, but face-off looks like will come out to the left of Tyler Hodges. Of course, the helmet now being given back to Corbin Geffard, but first wiped down to the visor by Billy T. Welker. Face-off now to the left of Tyler Hodges. Like I mentioned, Percelli will take it for the Bugs, and Greiner gets kicked out of the face-off circle, and in his place will be number 16, Jake Stock. Never mind, Greiner comes back in. Interesting turn of events there. Percelli and Greiner. Face-off will be an advantage of the Bugs. Here comes Duke Earhart. Earhart finds Stock, and they're able to muscle it in to the Jackalopes zone. It'll be behind the Jacks net. Jackalopes now coming up the left-hand side. Puck gets tipped out of play by Owen Case. That'll be a brief stoppage there for a puck out of play. Some more billets to mention. Of course, Mike and Melissa Jones, Jeremy and Kristen Kennedy, Chuck Landry, Jason and Sarah Morris, Martin and Carla Mueller. Oh, and there's some other folks. With 7:39 left here in the third period, it's tied 2-2 all between your Mudbugs and the Odessa Jackalopes. We'll be back here in a moment. You're listening to Shreveport Mudbugs Hockey on NATV and the Mudbugs Audio Network.
For those that have fallen, I say get up. For those that are asleep, I say wake up. For those that are seated, I say rise. It is time. The world needs what we possess. The only hope for a dark world is the light of Jesus Christ. Let your light so shine.
Thank you for tuning in to this Word of God Ministries message.
The Edgar County Coliseum, Mudbugs able to, not able to win the faceoff, at least for long anyways. They were able to win the faceoff, but not control the draw for long. Bugs, puck now in the Bugs zone. Johnny Burnt comes up with it. He gets muscled along the boards. Jonah Jasser's able to come up with it. Looking for Joe Salango there. Said Owen Case finds it. Now Duke Earhart. Earhart with both goals on the night. Gets lost in the skates of a Jackalope. Puck stays in control and it just bounces in the Odessa zone, but a delayed offside on the Bugs. Offside is cleared, and now back out come the Jackalopes now. Johnny Burn able to get a quick stick on it to at least stop play for the second. Catalano tried to find a pass, couldn't find nothing there. Toms now with a Barry shot, just goes wide. Hodges might have got a piece on it. Some Mango trying to battle in deep with Matar there. Catalano in the left-hand corner, battling with Johnny Burnt. Johnny Burnt crunches an Odessa player. Just fresh off the bench there. Jasser now is able to find it, and it gets turned over, and Jackalopes will take it back underway in the left-hand corner here, trying to find Catalano in front. Nothing doing there. Catalano now sends it back up to his defense, and it gets lost in the sauce. Vivi Hananen able to come back out with it just outside the Bug zone. Thomas able to find it. L'Esperance tried to find Zajac. Nothing doing there, but Zajac is able to gain control of the puck. Zajac, and now they find their defense. Odessa, L'Esperance, his shot gets blocked in front. Jasser able to block that shot there. Thomas now. Catalano's calling for it right in the middle. Nothing doing there, and Case will go behind the net and quarterback the play there. Quick line change here for both the Bugs and the Jackalopes. Owen Case now sends it up to Jake Stock. Stock sends it back to Owen Case. Case now looking down, trying to find Andre Parichka. Nothing doing there. Jackalopes trying to find it. Bugs trying to find it. Parichka, he finds it and dumps it in to the Mudbug zone. And it'll be behind the net of Jones. And they'll pass it around back behind their own net. Arrington now sends it up for Jihasi. It gets poked away by Liam Wolf-Tulby. Wolf-Tulby from back over to Stock. Stock back to Wolf-Tulby. Excuse me. Jackalopes now able to come out with it. Arrington. And that's Jihasi. That gets poked away by Tyler Hodges. What an excellent play by Tyler Hodges to the wherewithal to poke that away. Jacobs now. Arrington. Oh! Stock and Arrington. Stock just muscles Arrington. Richards in the right-hand corner. He finds Jacobs. Stock. He muscles Jacobs a little bit. He roughs up Jacobs a little bit, but not for too long. And, of course, now the puck gets turned over to the Bugs. Here comes Evan Adams. He gets his pocket picked. Jacobs, shot, fires. That goes up and wide above the glass. Hoagland comes away with it now. Oh, can't find Carter McKay. McKay can't find it. And that shot from Barry gets blocked in front and up into the glass. Left-hand corner now. Bugs and Jacks are battling. There's 4:20 left here in the third period. 2-2. Bugs and Jacks. Left-hand corner. Battling. And they're battling and battling and battling. I would sing a song here, but I don't think that's worth it. Puck is loose in the corner. That is Kukskowski with a goal. He's able to come up with it. And Corbin Geffhart, fortunately, will get the door. He brings down Kukskowski. Corbin Geffhart will get the door. 2 minutes on the board for Corbin Geffhart looks like for holding there. Like I said, 4:01 left in this period. And there'll be 2 minutes on the board for holding for Corbin Geffhart. Face-off will be to the left of Tyler Hodges. And his penalty kill so far tonight for the Bugs has done well. This will be one of the bigger tests of the night for the Bugs. Percelli in the face-off dot for the Bugs, or excuse me, for the Jackalopes, and Jasser for the Bugs. Little tied up there. Jasser able to get it out of the zone quickly as he can. Loveland now. He goes behind his own net. Leaves it for his own man. Sends it up to Shea Berry. Berry gets muscled off the boards by Reed. Berry now tries to find it. It just trickles off his stick and out of the Jackalope zone. Berry, he finds, never mind, offsides. He was trying to find number 9, Melker Loveland, but offsides was called before anything could get going there. 3:35 left here in the third period. Bugs 2, Jacks 2, and like I said, this period is intense, chippy, and skillful, and it's living up to all three so far. Faceoff will now come out in front of the Bugs bench. It'll be, looks like Vinny DiUlio and it'll be number 17, Nicholas Percelli, the faceoff zone. Some action between Matar and Mitchell Reed there on the right. Excuse me, maybe on the left. Jacks win the faceoff. Able to get it in. Barry gets it in. Reed is able to bring him down for a second. Toms. He finds Loveland. Loveland finds Barry. Shot. It's blocked in front. Bugs not able to, and it just trickles outside. Earhart couldn't quite take it away, but good defensive play there by the Bugs to clear it out. Vinny DiUlio, he's on Loveland. Now the Jacks will go behind their own net. Minute left to go. Some action, and Vinny DiUlio will get the gate. So Bugs will go down 5-on-3 on this first choice personnel penalty kill. Vinny DiUlio, 2 minutes. We'll find out the call here momentarily. High sticking is the call, folks. Vinny DiUlio, 2 minutes for high sticking. Corbin Geffhart has a minute left in his penalty for holding. This will lead to a 5-on-3 for the Jackalopes. And like I said, I sound like a broken record because I probably am, but both teams are not fazed by any of this. They're up, they're moving, they're banging sticks, banging gloves, whatever. Face-off comes out to the right of Hodges. Thomas now, he's looking, passes it off to his man, Jacobs. Jacobs, now they're going to take things slow. Jacobs, shot, fired, it's saved by Tyler Hodges in front. Face-off will come out to the left of Tyler Hodges. 2:50 left to go here. 49 seconds left in that Geffhart penalty. And, of course, Mudbugs hockey tonight is brought to you by our friends at Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports. Buffalo Wild Wings. Of course, Mudbugs hockey is also brought to you tonight by Porter's, delivering the difference for Mudbugs hockey. Locally owned and operated for over 50 years, providing floor mats, uniforms, and facility services for your company. Jackalopes able to win the face-off, and Burnt tried to clear it out, but it was picked up by Thomas. Thomas back and forth with his man. Jacobs, puck bounces in and off of his stick. Thomas leaves it for L'Esperance. L'Esperance, he's looking. That fire, that's blocked off the net, and it'll roll out of the Jackalope zone. Thomas for L'Esperance. Bugs, Jacks, 2-2, 2:17 left to go. Battling in the boards. L'Esperance, Thomas, Jasser, and Adams now. Now they're battling in the left-hand corner. Mudbugs, not able to quite come up with it. Thomas, Jacobs finds L'Esperance. L'Esperance, and that gets tipped, and it just goes over the glass into the stands down here by us. By a Clark Griswold and a Sidney Crosby jersey. If you're watching on NATV, of course. But if you're not, you're listening on the Mudbugs Audio Network. Of course, we thank you for listening and watching, but for the detail, comes out to the left boards here. Faceoff will come out to the right of Tyler Hodges. 1:58 left to go. Of course, that penalty has been killed. That first choice personnel. Perichka trying to battle through. And Odessa is able to keep it in. Barry now. He takes it up the left-hand side. Our left-hand side. That'd be broadcast right. Reed gets some contact from him, but Mudbugs are able to clear it out of the zone and get a partial line change here. Interesting contact there, and Bugs are, but it does not phase the Bugs there. Jackalopes coming up on the right-hand side, left-hand side for us. Percelli now, and it pass just misses the mark there. 15 seconds left on that penalty of Vinny DeUlio. That was 2 minutes for high sticking. Odessa, they'll play it behind their own net. And be 4, 3, 2, and 1 on that penalty. And just in time for 1 minute remaining left here in this third period. Burnt now. He's trying to find Vinny DeUlio, and he does. DeUlio fresh out of the box. Jack's now able to dump it back in their zone. Burnt comes up with it. He's getting Russell along with Percelli. Burnt now. Here he comes up the left side. He finds Jared Griner. He's able to gain possession. And not for McPherson's able to grab the loose puck. Kukskowski gets his pocket pick. McPherson able to pick up the rebound. And his shot gets blocked away by Tyler Hodges, and it flies up into the protective netting. 28.7 seconds left to go in this period. Bugs 2, Jackalopes 2. Whew. Folks, I'll tell you what. It's been fun. It's been fun both from this game, but also from my end of things, from technical delays and much more. But it's been fun. I look forward to doing it tomorrow night, but that's tomorrow night. Tonight, 28.7 seconds left. Bugs 2, Jacks 2. Faceoff will come up to the right of Tyler Hodges. Odessa wins the faceoff. Shot goes to the wide right. The wide left of Tyler Hodges. Arrington now gets some contact from Semengo. He dumps it into the board. Onto the boards. Arrington tried to tip it in front. Nothing doing there. 10 seconds left. He tried to tip it into Thornton. And now Jasser. Thornton on a break to get back. Jasser now in his zone. 3, 2, 1. Not enough time. And this one, folks, is going to overtime. Bugs 2, Jacks 2. We'll be back in a moment to tell you how this all transpired and to get you ready for the overtime period. You're listening to Shreveport Mudbugs Hockey here on NATV and the Mudbugs Audio Network.
Sterling Dental Center is a proud partner of the Shreveport Mudbugs. I'm Dr. Emil Janu, and my experienced staff and I will handle all your dental needs, from routine cleanings, x-rays, cavities, toothaches, and more, with the best and safest treatment out there. We are a family here at Sterling Dental Center, and we treat our patients like family. We welcome many forms of insurance. Come get your next dental appointment at Sterling Dental Center in Shreveport by calling 318-688-1040 or logging on to sterlingdentalshreveport.com.
Welcome back inside the Ector County Coliseum, and folks, we are deep in the heart of Texas, and we are deep in the heart of this hockey game. 1 minute remaining in the intermission period here. Let's tell you how we got here. Mudbugs took a 1-0 lead early in the first with a goal from Duke Earhart, assisted by Joseph Semengo and Jonah Jasser. And the Jackalopes were able to fire back with 2 goals in the second period. And then in the second period, Duke Earhart was able to come up with the second goal on the power play. Of course, that coming also from Joseph Semengo, and this time, Andre Parichka. A lot of penalties in this one as well. A lot of roughing, hooking, holding. Oh my, I guess, is there to say. Like I said, folks, we're deep in the heart of Texas, and we're deep into the heart of this game. 5 minutes has been put on the boards. It's Bugs 2, it's Jacks 2, and taking the face-off for your Bugs will be number 23, Evan Hoagland, the subject of my second intermission report second intermission show update. Whew. Get ready, folks. It's overtime. Jacks, Bugs, 2-2. 5 minutes on the board. Here we go. Bugs win the face-off. It was a bit of a chaotic mess there, but Bugs come away with it. Now, Jasser's going to put it behind his own net. Excuse me, it's Duke Earhart. 2 goals on the night so far. Behind his own net, quarterbacking the play. Earhart sends it Earhart brings it up. Now Earhart, right-hand side. It just goes off the side of the netting. Earhart contains control. And Jackalopes, they have 2-on-1. Jihasi not able to find it there. And he'll pass it out. He'll pass it out for his teammate. He finds Jacobs. Jacobs now circling, shot, fired. They score. Jeremy Jacobs ends it here in Odessa. Jeremy Jacobs puts it right past Tyler Hodges for a final score of 3-2 in favor of the Jackalopes, with 4:12 in the overtime period. For what it's worth, Jacobs had a nice play to set up his goal and able to set up his shot and put it, like I mentioned, right past Tyler Hodges. But give credit to this Mudbugs team. Give credit to Tyler Hodges. They worked their butts off tonight. They were able to gain a point, all things considered. When we come back, it'll be the start of the Nicky's Mexican Restaurant post-game show. Nicky's Mexican Restaurant. Don't drink the water. Try our margaritas today. Once again, folks, your final score coming here out of Odessa, Jackalopes 3, Mudbugs 2. We'll be back in a moment for the start of the Nicky's Mexican Restaurant post-game show. You're listening to Shreveport Mudbugs Hockey.
As a business owner, you know it's important to stay ahead of your competition to succeed. One dishonest employee providing poor customer service can send your business to the penalty box. DeFata and Associates has over 20 years of investigative experience that can help you monitor your employees and investigate losses that may be keeping you from reaching your goals. Whether you need GPS tracking, investigative shopping, integrity testing, or you're experiencing losses caused by theft, DeFata and Associates can help. Give them a call at 318-635-9944 or check out their website at defatapi.com for more information.
Sterling Dental Center is a proud partner of the Shreveport Mudbugs. I'm Dr. Emil Janu, and my experienced staff and I will handle all your dental needs, from routine cleanings, x-rays, cavities, toothaches, and more, with the best and safest treatment out there. We are a family here at Sterling Dental Center, and we treat our patients like family. We welcome many forms of insurance. Come get your next dental appointment at Sterling Dental Center in Shreveport by calling 318-688-1040 or logging on to sterlingdentalshreveport.com.
Welcome back inside the Ector County Coliseum here in Odessa, Texas, where the Jackalopes have defeated the Mudbugs by a final score of 3-2. With the goal coming, like I said, 4:12 left in the overtime period there. Shots on goal was 56-45 in favor of Odessa. Just asked by Mudbugs broadcaster Chet Yoder, is that really accurate? And Chet, it was accurate. The effort was there from both teams tonight. It's just the luck of the draw there. Of course, you're listening to the Nicky's Mexican Restaurant post-game show. Nicky's Mexican Restaurant. Don't drink the water. Try our margaritas today. And, folks, like I said, the effort was there from the Bugs tonight. Like I said, 45 shots on goal coming from the Bugs tonight. 2 goals coming from Duke Earhart on the night there. So let's take a look at how we all got to let's take a look at how we got here. Of course, first goal, like I mentioned, came from Duke Earhart, Joseph Semengo, and Joni Jasser at 16:24, with 16:24 in the first period. And then at 10:48, Daniel Kukskowski, Luke McPherson, and Gabe Pankratz put the Jackalopes on the board. And then their second goal coming from Adam Matar, Jack Lesperance, and Nicholas Percelli at 6:21, but at 2:25 left in the second, Juke Earhart tied things up for the Bugs. Third period, no scoring, but a lot of intense action coming from both teams in that period there. Of course, like I mentioned, intensity was the name of the game. And that led us to overtime, where Jeremy Jacobs put it past Tyler Hodges. Assist coming from Jack Lesperance and Caden Jihasi. Of course, penalties on tonight was Caden Jihasi for a high-sticking first period. In the second period, a laundry list of penalties here. Melker Loveland, Shea Berry, Michael Zanjak, and Jeremy Jacobs for the Jackalopes. And then for the Mudbugs, Andre Varichka and Gabriel Lopez-Corsi. And then in the third period, for the Bugs, Ty Easton, Corbin Geffard, and Carter McKay with all penalties there. In terms of the goaltenders, Tyler Hodges, 53 out of 56. And like I said, the effort from the Bugs was here tonight in the Ector County Coliseum, especially with Tyler Hodges. There was a lot of saves that kept the Bugs into the game tonight. That was one of the things that both coaches mentioned to me earlier on. They liked the goaltending play from Tyler Hodges. And, of course, for the Jackalopes, Kevin Jones saving 43 out of 45 there on the night. So, tomorrow, folks, it is game number 2 of this 2-game series between the Mudbugs and the Jackalopes. And once again, I'd like to give a quick thank you to Chet Yoder for letting me fill in on the night, as well as a big thank you to Mudbugs General Manager Scott Musket and Mudbugs owner Tommy Scott for allowing me the opportunity to broadcast this weekend's series. Your final score coming out of Odessa tonight, Jackalopes 3, Mudbugs 2. This has been the Nicky's Mexican Restaurant postgame show. Nicky's Mexican Restaurant, don't drink the water. Try our margaritas today. Tomorrow, folks, Mudbugs, Jackalopes. We'll be back here in the Ector County Coliseum. Of course, game time for that game here in Odessa tomorrow is 6 p.m., a little earlier than tonight's 7:15 puck drop time. Of course, we'll have the Landers Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram and Fiat pregame show 15 minutes beforehand. So, with all things being considered, I'm Duncan Welker. Once again, folks, your final score, Jackalopes 3, Mudbugs 2 in overtime. We'll see you tomorrow night here on NATV and the Mudbugs Audio Network. You've been listening to Shreveport Mudbugs Hockey.